Hello. Welcome to the worst show on the planet. We're gonna be doing some more Incan stuff. We got some Tech TV, X Live, or X Play, excuse me. Oh my god. We're gonna be seeing a bunch of stuff. I even kind of figured out a page that I'll be maybe working on in the near future. Got some more comics. Or not. Wait, why? Wait, what kind of question is that? What is your net addiction? News, shopping, pornography, research? Why? That's such a jarring, like, jump. Like, what are they even talking about? Jesus.
Screensavers.com. We research. We live online.
Hold on.
What do you do? A, news, informative and make you a better educated individual, therefore possibly being better functioning employee.
So what's our question today?
What's your net addiction?
What is your addiction? What do you do?
A, news. B, shopping. Wow, look at that graphic. C, pornography. Or D, research. Go to the
They should have made D
screensavers.com.
pornography.
What are you
Imagine if they cut
using
our
that
access
for?
off.
What are you using that for primarily?
All of the above.
Everything. Adam joins us on the Intel Tech TV Netcam Network from Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Hello, Adam.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, very well. I understand you just got home.
Yes, I did.
What do you
Tell
use
us where
it
you
for?
were.
I was over in Afghanistan.
It's like, it's a spank bank for me. I'm actually doing it right now.
Well, that's
Jesus.
great. I'm glad you made it back safe and sound. Did you see action?
Yeah.
I saw your mom. Come on.
You have a lot of stories to tell, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Ask him what his MOS is, Leo.
What's your MOS?
Okay, Patrick, since you said MOS, it's an 18 Delta.
Nice.
Awesome. What does that mean?
I'm not going to tell you. He's going to tell you.
But that's very cool, Adam. Well, we're glad you made it back safe and sound. What can we do to help you today?
Yes, Leo, how can I transfer information from one computer to another using either a serial or a parallel port?
Well, that's something we do a lot. Now, normally, the fastest way, the way we're kind of recommending these days is to use a network cable, crossover network cable, because most computers nowadays have Ethernet ports built into it, and it's just a fast, easy way to do it. But if you want to do it with a serial cable or a printer cable, first of all, you need to get a special serial cable or printer cable, right, Adam? You have to use, same like you would use a crossover network cable, you have to use what's called a null modem cable, which means that the send and receive is flipped on one end. So it's as if it's talking to a modem on the other end for both computers. And the same thing with the parallel cable, which is faster. You have to swap some of the wiring so that it will work
I should
fine.
also mention I kind of went ahead a little bit. I did some inking kind of ahead of it. Finished up this one. I think I actually did this one on stream, but I finished up this panel and finished up this panel as well. So we're sitting, we're sitting pretty good. I think if we get a couple more things done, we'll be... Oh, I'm hearing lightning right now.
Yes, I am.
What's MOS?
Hearing lightning again.
Military Occupational Specialty.
So that's what you do.
Yes, that's our job.
Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
What did you do?
18 Delta.
What's that mean?
I don't know. I'm looking it up.
I'm a Special Forces medic.
That's what I thought. So you're a medic. Wow.
Wow.
Special Forces. That's exciting, Adam. I wish we could sit down and talk to you for a little bit, but we mean like let's do our job. Here's the detail. You walk through the wizard. Patrick was searching for what Delta was. That's Delta Force, right?
What a great, what a great series. I actually never knew about screensavers, so this is a treat.
It's nice. Do you have XP, Adam? Or
I'm sure there's some people out there who know what screensavers is and watched every episode about when Firefox first got launched and shit.
Basically, go into Start and Settings, and you go in your network connections. And again, like we said before, there's going to be There it is. Create a new connection.
It makes it so much easier in XP.
It'll walk you right through
The key on this is the right hardware, and that's where you go to somewhere like lpt.com, which is a website, or you could go to your local CompUSA, and they'd have it. You need a special cable, though.
Yeah, it's nice if you have USB ports on the computers. It's nice to use it. The USB connection will be well, not a little, it'll be a lot faster. So something to look out for.
Hey, thank you so much, Adam.
And congratulations for getting home safely.
Yeah, and thank you for your service, too. Guess what, folks? Just for giving us a Netcam call, we're going to give Adam something.
What?
You know what? We're going to do this for all our Netcam calls from now on, for at least till we run out. A free subscription to Safari Books Online.
This is cool.
I love this site. This is a site where you can get all your computer books all at once. You set up a bookshelf. You can search through them.
Wow, an online book subscription.
Computer books, computer manuals. Safari Books Online. Our gift to you, Adam. Thank you for being our first caller on our brand new home. And all the details of what we just talked about, I've been typing. This is something new.
Well, this must be a fairly new episode.
And you can subscribe to the show notes at thescreensavers.com.
Don't go anywhere. If you do, you'll miss, well, you know what, the last CD burner roundup you're ever going to need to pay attention
Might
to.
need one after this imploding DVD thing.
And up next, he served on experimental NASA missions. Now astronaut Dick Gordon's going to tell us what really went on. Huh? You like that? Now, you want to see it live, you want to be here, be our guest, come see the show in person. If you're going to be in the Bay Area and you'd like to join the Screensavers live right here on the set, go to www.techtv.com/ticketline for information and to request tickets. Go there so we can see you right here.
Tech TV presents The Tech of, the revolutionary new series that shows you how things really work. Go behind, around, and inside the technology of just about everything. The Tech of, Wednesdays at 9:30, 8:30 Central, only on Tech TV. The Screensavers is presented by Expedia.com. Don't just travel, travel right.
So how's it coming?
Good. This one looks pretty exotic.
Cool.
Mosquito nets. What's that? Maybe not that exotic.
Great.
Everything you need to choose the hotel that's right for you.
Expedia.com.
The world's most powerful SUV.
Actually tried doing that. That's an insane advertisement.
Breakthrough.
How do you avoid getting sick when you read in a car?
Well, you don't read.
I'm sorry, that's just
Anything else?
batshit insane.
Good. This custom hydraulic system gains international appeal after a showcase at an auto show.
Center stage?
It was in the back, but had good foot traffic. Anyway, the mechanic uses FedEx Global Trade Manager to help find and print shipping documents, estimate duties and taxes, and they're on the international scene before you can say lederhosen.
Lederhosen.
Too late.
That was fast.
Not fast enough.
Lederhosen.
Collegiate life provides a scholar with a plethora of choices. Take getting to class. Should one skate? Excuse me. Bike? Bus? Or, thanks to Dell, you could drive this, ladies. All through September, Dell's giving away new BMWs in the BMW a Day giveaway. Yep, Dell helps you get the right PC for you and the chance to get to class with class.
Call or go online now, and you can win a BMW in Dell's BMW a Day giveaway when you order America's favorite PC, like this Dimension desktop for just $6.99, featuring an Intel Pentium 4 processor with awesome performance for music, digital photos, gaming, and beyond. And for a limited time, you'll get a free CD burner or DVD upgrade.
You must have gotten a Dell.
Easy to buy, easy to own, easy as Dell. Dell PCs use Intel Pentium 4 processors.
Sorry about that. Our first guest flew on some of history's most exciting space missions and made a career experimenting with lunar possibilities, here to shed light on what it was like to be part of early space travel technology, astronaut Dick Gordon. We welcome you to the Screensavers.
Thank you, Leo.
You joined the astronaut corps in '63.
That's correct, October of '63.
Was that the second class?
No, I failed the second class, but I was lucky enough to be selected in a third class.
Must have been something.
It was indeed. 8 years of a lot of fun and a lot of hard work.
Were you a test pilot before? How did you get into it?
I was a test pilot, Navy carrier pilot. Went to test pilot school in 1957.
Yeah.
And October the 4th of that year, when Sputnik was launched, it started a whole new career.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I read The Right Stuff and I saw the movie. I don't know how much that's like. You're giving me a face. I have a feeling it's not that much like the actual
Tom Wolfe, I'll put it this way. Tom Wolfe's book was very good.
It was a good novel, shall we say. But I don't know what's braver, to go up in Gemini, you went up in Gemini 11, or to land on a pitching deck of an aircraft carrier.
I think I probably used more adrenaline as a naval aviator.
I would bet. That's scary stuff.
Well, it's the night work that gets your attention.
Yeah, a night landing is not to be...
Surprisingly enough, Leo, that the catapult shots worse than the night landing.
Really?
Well, you're not under control yet.
Right.
You don't have the airspeed,
Right.
you don't have the altitude,
Right.
so
They're just throwing you off
until you get that under control, it uses a little adrenaline.
So when you got in Gemini 11, in Gemini, you're all alone, right?
No,
or were there two of you? There's two of you. So you're in there. Who was your buddy?
Pete Conrad.
Pete Conrad.
We were roommates on the USS Ranger before we ever
great.
got in the program.
So you felt comfortable with him. Was it a little nerve-wracking, though, sitting there with all that rocket fuel behind you?
Well, as long as Pete was there, I wasn't too worried about it.
What was the significance of Gemini 11?
Quite a bit, Leo.
Yeah.
You know, our president said we were going to go to the moon on the 25th of May, 20 days after Alan Shepard flew. We hadn't even been in orbit yet.
Yeah.
So there was a lot to learn. The Apollo mission was designed for 10 days. We had a rendezvous, dock, perform EVA. So the Gemini program was created to do all of those things that we needed to do for Apollo.
To try out all
the operational procedures. We had a rendezvous, we had a dock, we had a change orbit, we had to maneuver the spacecraft.
Right.
We performed some EVA that allowed us to understand humans' creation of metabolic rates and what was required to provide a life support system.
Unlike many of our audience members, I'm old enough to have actually watched every one of those launches with Walter Cronkite beginning to end. I was glued to the set, fascinated by
I think
the whole
most
thing.
young people in that time frame in the 60s were doing the same. There wasn't very much else good going on in 1960s.
That's true. It was the one thing we could really be proud of. You did an EVA, extravehicular activity. You got out of the craft and what was that like?
Well, you're bringing up a sore subject now, aren't you? It was
Tell me
difficult.
about that.
Well, it was difficult. The work was difficult simply because we had yet to learn how to operate in zero gravity in space.
You couldn't put your feet down,
We didn't have anything to restrain ourselves.
Right.
Nothing to hang on to.
They hadn't learned that yet.
Well, we learned it very shortly thereafter.
They brought you in a little early because you couldn't, there was nothing to hold up?
I was running out of gas, you might say.
Yeah.
I was at the point of exhaustion. It was, I describe it like this. It was like tying your shoelace with one hand.
Right. Or one of those dreams people have where you're struggling and struggling and you just can't get anywhere. But when you get out of that craft and you look down at the Earth, what is that like?
That's probably one of the most interesting things of all. The visual aspects of space flight are probably the more phenomenal portions of it. The zero G you get used to right away, but you never get tired of looking at this gorgeous planet that we live in.
The best view in the world.
It sure is.
Out of the world, I guess.
Especially from lunar distances.
Oh yeah. Now, okay. Well, let's jump ahead. Now we're going to go to Apollo 12, right?
That's correct.
And you went to the moon. Was Pete Conrad was with you again?
Yes, he was. He was again, and Alan Bean was a third crew member.
Now Conrad and Bean get to go to the surface of the moon.
Yeah.
I always felt bad for you and all the guys who had to sit back and rotate, orbit the moon.
I felt bad for myself, too. So
Did you kind of shed a tear as they're going down?
Not really. I always answer the question this way. If you had known Pete Conrad and Al Bean, you'd have been damn glad to get rid of them for a while. You had 42 hours of being all alone.
See ya, guys. Don't rush back.
No, but please come back.
I got an email from a guy who had worked on, I think it was in the Gemini program, on quality control of the capsule. He said they're called the turtles. He said one of the turtles says to say hi. Does that ring a bell to you?
I'm not going to answer that question.
He said, I'm to ask you if you are a turtle.
Bet your sweet ass I am.
Okay, well now...
That's the proper answer to that
That is the
question.
proper answer. He said you will be...
If you don't, you have to buy drinks for everybody.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
The turtles are... Is that the nickname for the guys who are working on the craft?
It was just a little club that was created by Wally Schirra.
All right. And we now know you're a member.
Yes,
one of the turtles said to say hi. I love that. So now after you came back from the moon, what did you do then?
I retired. I stayed with NASA until 1972 and worked on the orbiter, design of it, for a short period of time. And then I retired in January of 72 and joined the New Orleans Saints as their executive vice president.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, it's people. It's still people.
It's still people. Yeah. You like football?
Love it.
Yeah. That must have been a lot of fun. You worked as chief of advanced programs. So is that where you at NASA? Is that where you worked on the orbiter?
Yes, that's correct.
That's great. Yeah. What of all the things you did in your career? What an amazing career you've had. What was the thing that you most look back on and say, yeah, that was a great thing to do?
Getting back home.
Safe and sound.
That was the best part.
Coming in. Now, is it when you land in the ocean, or is when they come and they get you out of the craft?
I think when you finally complete the mission and you realize that it's been a success, and you've done a fairly good job, accomplished most of the objectives that were assigned to you, I think that's the satisfaction you get out of it.
Is there a lot of pressure on you? Do you put pressure on yourself to be perfect the whole time during the mission?
No, we don't want to make mistakes, but fortunately we have the ground working with us. We have 2 other people on the Apollo missions, and we use checklists. We correct each other. You know, we make mistakes. We're human. But we watch each other do the proper things and help each other out, so we keep the mistakes to a minimum.
The space program, for me anyway, is one of the great accomplishments of mankind. To get to the moon, to get a man on the moon safely, to bring him back, is remarkable. Do you feel like we've pulled back a little bit?
Yes, I think we have pulled back. I'm surprised that we have yet to return to the lunar surface. I'm somewhat surprised, although it will come in time, that we haven't really taken a bull by the horns and start talking about going to Mars. We will one day. I had hoped that maybe I would see it, but I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think so?
Not in my lifetime.
Somebody said that it's in all likelihood, a kid who's walking the planet Earth today, maybe in high school, maybe in college, will be the first person to walk on the red planet. You think that's true?
I think so. I hope my grandchildren have that opportunity. That would be great.
It's been very exciting. You have a website now, dickgordon.com?
It's been just created. My wife decided I needed something to do, and
that's great.
She worked with through family relationships with people at Worthy Concepts, which is a link, incidentally, from my website to theirs, and they have created what I consider, I hope it's an award-winning website, and it might very well be.
It's a gorgeous site. I'm glad that it's there because there's a lot of history and a lot of information on it, and it's really great to read it. And the guys who did it, I know, are here in the audience today, so they did a good job.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah. Astronaut Gordon,
Leo,
a real pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you so much for being with us on the Screensavers. Thanks for what you did.
Well, appreciate it.
You inspired us all.
Well, it was our opportunity, and we enjoyed every minute of it.
Man. So exciting. You want to know more about Dick Gordon's Apollo 12?
What the hell was that?
Lots more photos, all online at our website, thescreensavers.com, and we'll link you over to Dick's after we get a few hits out of you.
Great.
We'll work a few hits out of him.
Thanks for that.
Thanks for being here.
You bet.
We appreciate it. Stay put. Keep your eyes, keep your ears open. At any point, we could be giving you a clue to the question for today's Gateway giveaway. I want you to win a computer, but you've got to pay close attention, just as Dick Gordon and his fellow astronauts did on Apollo 12. They listened to Capcom. They did what he said. Coming up next, you want to cryogenically preserve your body on your death? Martin will tell you how you can be like Ted Williams for free. Does it involve ice trays? First, pay attention to this. It's Megan's Windows tip.
If you hit Alt, your focus moves up to the File menu of your Windows application. You can use the arrow keys or the underlined letter to navigate your menus.
Get on
Zoid. Your ray is no match for Lord Gorlock.
Excuse me? Did you know that Geico settles many car insurance claims in 48 hours or less?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Impressive, Green One.
Yo, what up, America?
I don't know if the screensavers exist today, but imagining them today, they would just be like a shitposting meme site. Be like, Can I has cheeseburgers? Today's retro meme of the day.
Our top story tonight comes from our political desk. Last week, former Attorney General Janet Reno finally conceded defeat in the Florida Democratic gubernatorial primary, losing to a relatively unknown rival in an election rife with more Florida voting irregularities. As for comment, Microsoft's Bill Gates said, "I don't care about Florida. I'm just really sick of people blaming me for that Elian Gonzalez debacle." Where are you taking me, Chairman Gates? Where are you taking me? See, because Bill Gates and Janet Reno look identical. Moving along to our drugs desk. Last week, current Attorney General John Ashcroft announced that an internet date rape drug ring has been broken. Ashcroft said that Operation Web Slinger resulted in the arrest of 100 internet dealers of the drug GHB. The dealers disguised their drug operations as web-based inkjet printing supply stores. And according to my college roommate, the smoking of inkjets produces a lousy high, little more than a dull headache, really. Even those really kind, high-end Canon brand inkjets. If nothing else, the internet date rape drugs explain why I can't remember anything about 95% of the AOL romance chat room session I partook in last night. From our hacker desk, computer security experts have denounced the White House's eagerly awaited strategy on defending our nation's critical systems from cyber attack as amorphous. Bush administration's cybersecurity czar Richard Clark's national strategy to secure cyberspace stresses voluntary cooperation and education as keys to defending the nation from a cyber war. Recommendations in the 60-page report include choosing difficult-to-guess passwords, updating antivirus software, and installing firewalls. Businesses are also encouraged to establish security policies. Though Clark declined to comment on the safety of specific computer operating systems, he pointed to Microsoft's Trustworthy Computing Initiative as an example of a company making security a top priority. And finally tonight, hoping to draw attention to its revamped style, New Scientist magazine is holding a contest. The prize, cryonics treatment. If you win, upon your death, your body will be cooled to a temperature at which decay of the body stops, and then suspended in liquid nitrogen until a cure for whatever killed you comes about, at which time you'll be thawed out. The magazine's editor says the contest will make science interesting to everyone, including Boston Red Sox fans. If you don't want to be frozen, you can trade the prize for a Hawaiian vacation. And in an attempt to not lose subscribership to New Scientist magazine, Old Scientist magazine is holding a contest in which the winner's body will be suspended in a jar of formaldehyde. And that's the Super Tech News Blitz with Martin Sargent. I'm Martin Sargent. And don't go anywhere or you'll miss a roundup of some of the best CD burners on the market. And still to come, sit up and straighten your tie as Leo tackles your computer questions in boot camp when the Screensavers continues.
Point out a couple of pictures and then go home. Anybody you recognize here?
Nah.
Huh? I don't hang out with animals, man. What I don't know.
Which one is he? Does this ring a bell? Which one? You're sitting here lying to me, wasting my time. You're a liar, and I know you're a liar. Get me here.
Oh, is this Sly Cooper?
Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
Devious, thievious raccoons. Rated E for everyone.
0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, sir. And it corners with almost no body roll. Does it handle as good as it looks? Come on, what's it like to drive one of those?
You tell me. The completely redesigned BMW 7 Series. If you don't have a friend who has one, you'll have to visit an authorized BMW center for a test drive.
One band speaks to millions. One album will tell you why. Creed, Weathered. Featuring the hits My Sacrifice. And
My sacrifice. On the edge and I'm thinking. We ain't so many toes. You get a free poster with this.
Meet brains. Genius.
I always knew my theory was correct.
Inventor.
You say everything is completely automatic.
Is this the Thunderhawks?
Brains behind it all. This perfectionist is always ready for action, laughing in the face of danger. He's International Rescue's whiz kid, Brains. See him in action on the Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds.
6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, only on Tech TV.
Who can turn the world on with a smile? Well, it's you, girl, and you should know it. Love is all around, no need to waste it. You can have the time, why don't you take it?
The best way out is by coming in. Going to family learning programs helps you and your family lead better lives. Call 1-877-FAMLET-1 because making it after all shouldn't just happen on TV.
The first time Tech TV gave away Gateway PCs, it was a big hit. The second time we did it, the winners went wild. Now, by popular demand, the Tech TV Gateway PC giveaway is back. All this week, Tech TV's giving away Gateway 500 SE computers every weekday. For details and registration, log on to techtv.com/getapc. Then watch the Screensavers weeknights at 7 for your chance to win. Easy to enter, easy to win. Tech TV's Gateway PC giveaway is on now.
Where is he? Where is he? Hey, see him right there. All right, well, that's good. I didn't know you could hide back there. I'll be doing that a little later on. Welcome back to the Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte. Coming up in this half hour, must-have tips for the Sirius XP user, plus Megan reveals one of the most sought-after Mac downloads ever, something we've been waiting for with the release of Jaguar, and it's finally here. And we're going to provide the last important CD burner roundup we will ever do. We promise. It's it. They're not going to get any better than this. This is as good as it gets. How many times have I said that in my career? It's time for, ladies and gentlemen, boot camp. Basic training. Oh, jeez. Basic training for your personal confuser. Holy moly, we've got graphics. How do you like it? This is the new boot camp area. This is good. I like it. The executive washroom's right over there if you want. Well, I'll get you the key later. Let's start off, as always, with a tip. You notice our great new Screensavers logo? And I'm thinking you're sitting there looking at your computer with the old, boring green Screensavers logo, and you'd like to update it, wouldn't you? Well, let me show you. We've put it online just for you at the Screensavers.com, and I'm going to show you quickly how you can make the new Screensavers logo your desktop. And it's actually right here on the Screensavers. If you scroll down to put your logo on, can you read that? Let me make it a little bit bigger for you. Put the logo on the desktop right there, the new Screensavers wallpaper. Click that, and they've done something great this time, and I'm really pleased. I asked them because, you know, I know some of you have smaller screens, some of you have larger screens, so we have 4 versions of it to download, including a very high-res version, which, of course, is going to be a lot larger. They're all JPEGs, but if you have a high-res screen, you might want to get the biggest one. Pick the one that most closely matches your screen size. Click on download, and actually it's really not a download. It's going to show up on your screen. like that. And then you right-click on it, and now depending on what kind of a browser you're using,
No
using something
way.
like make wallpaper, set as background. That's what the current Internet Explorer says. Set as background, something like that. And just click it, and there it goes. Now, if you're using a Macintosh, it's a little different. You're going to go to Save Picture As, and you're going to actually want to save the picture with any name you want, and save it on a Mac in the Pictures folder. Then you can use the desktop, we'll say SS logo or something. And then you can use the desktop preference pane to change it. So save it to the Pictures folder, and then use the desktop preference pane. But this, doesn't that look good? It's very clean. I think it's a nice-looking logo, so I'm pleased with that. Get it. Make it on your desktop. Andy's on the line from Conowingo, Maryland. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Where's Conowingo? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Conowingo?
Mm-hmm.
You play bingo in Conowingo?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that near Baltimore?
It's pretty far away from it, but it is somewhat close.
You're going to come see me and Patrick this weekend?
Probably not going to be able to.
Because we're in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be in Anne Arundel and White Marsh.
Guy on the phone's just like, dude, just answer my freaking questions.
The first 2,700 miles, you can't hop and steal a car?
Come see us. All right. It's okay.
And why do they...
We'll be going to Birmingham. Maybe is that closer to Conowingo? Louisville? Anywhere in there? What can I do for you, Andy?
Yes, I have a Linksys router, and I want to set up a computer to be a firewall for my network. And the router has a firewall built into it.
Right.
What I want to know is the firewall on the computer going to conflict with the firewall in the router?
No, but I don't think you really need the firewall on the computer, okay? What the router, if all a router is really is a little computer that is doing internet connection sharing. It's sitting between you and the outside world, and when you ask for data, it passes it along. And when data comes in, it says, oh, yeah, send that over here. Andy's computer asked for it. It also, just by virtue of the fact that it's there in between you and the outside world, acts somewhat as a firewall. It has your public IP address. Your other computers have a private internet address. And so it's kind of, if any attack happens on the system, it's where the attack's going to happen, is on the firewall. Okay. Now, you can, if you like, if you're a belt and suspenders type guy, you could run firewall software on your systems behind the router.
Is he saying you don't need a firewall if you have a router?
They have a firmware upgrade that's designed to work with Zone Alarm Pro, right? I'm not sure what features that adds. There's no reason why it wouldn't work. I don't think you need Zone Alarm or any other firewall. I think the Linksys is sufficient. If you want to be extra cautious, update your firmware on that Linksys. Make sure you get the latest version, and then run Zone Alarm or Zone Alarm Pro. Those are the two we like the best as your firewall software on your independent machines. But that's really a lot of extra protection. And frankly, a firewall only goes so far in protection. There's all sorts of other things like opening email attachments, all sorts of other behaviors you could do that are just as bad, right? So if you're prudent, if you've got the Linksys there, you've got any network switch or router in between you and the outside world, you don't open attachments, I think you're probably safe enough, Andy. All right, good question. I appreciate the call. Hope you'll maybe I can get you to come to, White Marsh or Anne Arundel, please. Stay where you are, folks. Tom Hanks introduces us to the new Apollo 13 version in 70mm IMAX. And up next, Martin offers yet another stellar sight of the night when the Screensavers continues in our new digs.
I was right. This was 02.
What is Microsoft Insider Live? It's a chance to get inside information and check out the newest Microsoft products.
Dude, Windows XP.
It's like a technology expo in your living room. Don't miss Microsoft Insider Live. October 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, only on Tech TV. Plus, you could win a trip to Vegas or other great Microsoft prizes. Register at www.microsoft.com/insider/live. The Screensavers is presented by Gateway, where you've got a friend in the business.
It has a sleek all-in-one design like the Apple iMac computer, only it's faster.
has more storage capacity and can run thousands more software programs. Presenting the remarkable new Gateway Profile 4. Oh, and by the way, did we mention the Gateway Profile costs less than the iMac?
Chevy Tahoe is the only large SUV with the security of AutoTrack 4-wheel drive, so you can impress people. Or avoid them altogether. Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
15 minutes, we go upstairs.
Yeah.
Take
Hey,
the
welcome to the firm.
You've been here 3 years, right? 4.
I love you.
Bad timing can cost you.
I love you too.
That's why Ameritrade offers a 10-second guarantee to complete your trade. Plus powerful analytical tools and real-time streaming data.
What?
So you stay on top. Ameritrade. Because timing is everything. For real-time streaming data, 25 commission-free internet equity trades, and our 10-second guarantee, visit Ameritrade.com and open your account today.
Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, King of the Apes, father of boys. He knows what it takes to be a dad. You go for a ride, you take a swim, you hang out. All it takes is time. Hey, it doesn't take a hero, but it takes a man to be a dad.
By the way, here we are high atop the Screensavers building in beautiful downtown San Francisco. They moved us up from the basement. There's a little elevator over there, and we just came right up. Do you think this is more spacious up here in the penthouse? It feels more spacious. Yeah.
It's really the Dr. Pepper machine, the jacuzzi.
I like that.
The dedicated
elevator.
The chef, I think, has really changed.
Chris on the line from Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome to the Screensavers. How do you like our new digs, Chris?
Hello, Leo. It looks great. And hello, man with kilt.
Man with kilt.
Who's in jeans, but I appreciate the thought.
he has kilts. Let's put it that way.
Mini kilts.
What can we do for you, Chris?
Well, first, let me say that it's an honor to speak with you on this first day of your new set.
That's right. Thank you. We're honored that
It's
you're
an
here.
honor.
Wouldn't be a show without you, so thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I've always thought that. It's glad to be appreciated. Okay, now, I recently installed, first off, I am very novice to this, so beware.
Okay.
I recently installed Adaware.
Yes. Okay.
Yesterday, I read through the whole thing, front to back, to make sure I knew what I was doing.
Wow, that's impressive.
So I ran it this morning, and I got a list with 59 returns.
That's impressive,
Wow.
too.
Let's, before you go any further, explain what Adaware is. It's from a company called Lavasoft, lavasoft.de, and it is a spyware search and destroy program. It looks for programs that place evil little spyware software on your system and finds it and tells you it's there and gives you the option to remove it.
It also detects somewhat more benign things like applications that are designed sometimes to put advertising inside your free downloadable. Right.
It calls that spyware, and I don't know how nasty spyware really is.
Yeah. Well, some spyware is pretty heinous, and that's why Steve Gibson started the program that became Adaware.
That's right. He initially coined the term spyware. So I think, Chris, you did the right thing. You downloaded Adaware, you ran it, and look, lo and behold, you have 53 different programs that aren't necessarily, but could be monitoring your behavior on the internet and sending it back to the home office.
Correct.
So what's your
I went to back it up in case I deleted something that stopped something from running.
Right.
So when I created the backup file, I tried to name the backup file with all 59 listings there. I kept getting an error message.
Yeah.
And the error message said C drive, BDE, and then /b3d.b3d. And then after that, it said in German, kann nicht geöffnet werden.
I cannot write that file, werden.
I don't know. We have to go to Babelfish and translate this. The reason it's in German is, and you probably figured this out from the web address, is lavasoft.de. It's a German company. And I suppose we should do is just go to Lavasoft and look at their help file. I'm not sure why you can't write it, and I don't speak German, so I don't know what the issue is. You tried writing to different directories, Chris?
No, I just tried the one directory. I mean, it said, when I was reading the instructions, it said basically that when you have your list comes up, you can apply that to one backup file. So I just tried to name it. It's like I said, every time I tried to name the backup file, it would just come back with that error message.
Well, make sure the name is alphanumeric, okay? It starts with a letter. It has letters and numbers. Be careful of punctuation. Some punctuation is illegal. I'm just trying to keep you from doing an illegal file name.
I would use letters, and I would use letters and a number, but I never used punctuation or anything.
What exactly did you try to name the file?
I tried to name it backup, backup 1, first backup.
Good name. All good names. Shouldn't be the name. Well, Patrick's searching, and I don't know, have you done this? He's looking through the FAQ on the Lavasoft website. Have you tried that, Chris?
I read all the FAQs on the ware that came in, on the adware itself.
Right.
I went to the page, and there was a lot there to look through. I haven't looked through everything.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, I don't know, and it's, of course, hard for us to tell from all the way over here exactly why I won't be able to save that file. The thing on removing spyware you got to be careful about, it's not going to break your system. What it may do is make one or more of the shareware programs that use the spyware stop working. They go out and they say, well, is the spyware there? No, it's not. Well, I'm not going to work for this guy because I need my ad database to pay for the program. So I think probably the backup isn't critical. Chris, you could probably just go ahead and do it, and then if something doesn't work, just reinstall that program. When you reinstall it, it will reinstall the spyware, but at least the program will work, okay? I don't think it's going to damage the operation of the system. And my experience with, by the way, adware is it's been very benign, and it's really pretty safe. Patrick's now trying to translate German for you at translate.google.com.
Well, what was the exact
He's
phrase
gone.
that you
We don't have time to do German translation.
Oh, come
This is a
on.
computer show. Take a deep breath.
You scared him away.
Relax. I scared him away. I'm sorry, Chris. Don't be scared. Prepare yourselves for tonight's Sight of the Night. Martin's coming up in just a bit.
Thank you. If we want the children of America to grow up and be decent citizens, it's important to start teaching them early, teaching them about the importance of eating lots of pork. That's why the National Pork Board's porkforkids.com is a website your children cannot afford not to surf, especially in this confusing day and age. At porkforkids.com, kids learn the importance of eating a balanced diet, especially a balanced diet that includes large portions of pork. Let's build a virtual sandwich. You can pile your sandwich with hearty portions of pepperoni, ham, bacon, and also Canadian bacon. Oh, baby, that's a whole lot of pork. Yeah. It's all gone. After we build a sandwich that includes 4 different kinds of pork products, Pork for Kids can teach us even more about a balanced diet and the food pyramid. The cartoon Peggy Pork Chop, starring a strung-out-looking piece of meat, further teaches us about a balanced nutritional diet. Let's play Find the Piglets. Perhaps they're hiding because they live on a pig farm where pigs are routinely slaughtered. But don't worry, the Pork for Kids farm tour makes no mention of the process of turning pigs into pork. So now let's test our pork IQ. What section of the food guide pyramid contains pork? You got it, the meat section. Yay! And you parents should log on to otherwhitemeat.com where you'll learn how pork can cure road rage.
Excuse me, sorry. I was just cooking a bagel. Oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Cooking a bagel. Oh, is this Sergeant Rick? Oh.
We're just getting started, folks. Oh, blatant book plug. After the break, we're going to show you a free download.
Man, it's like awkwardly clumsy of the show how it works.
Mac OS 10.2, and coming up next.
Man, that brings back memories.
Be the very last CD burner you'll ever own. They might be. We'll find out why. But first, let's take a look at Megan's web tip.
You said that last year.
Go to betterwhois.com to find out who owns that domain name you've always wanted.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine?
Introducing the GMC Envoy XL.
You've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine.
The midsize SUV engineered to comfortably seat 7 full-size adults.
Underway. You ain't seen nothing yet. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine?
Okay. Small business software, $500.
Coming up.
Small business seminar, $300. Small business supplies, $90. Leaving work early to use your reward points, priceless. Now small business owners can earn reward points to use more places than ever before. Call 866-444-BONUS for details. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Geico's always been about savings, but he really brought customer service to a whole new level.
We settle a ton of claims in under 48 hours.
Guaranteed claim repairs? That was his idea.
Customer satisfaction is at an all-time high.
You know what he represents? A commitment to excellence.
And he deserves this award.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Travelocity can plan me a trip. Plan me a trip that's perfect for my kids.
Help me pick out a cruise ship by looking at it.
Bagels ready.
Travelocity can point out another trail.
Down the Grand Canyon!
Tell me where I can rent an elephant. Travelocity can
Take me to my roots.
help me spend time with my sister.
Travelocity can let me
Book the plane, the ship, or the automobile. Travelocity can give me tools to plan. Tools to save.
tools to make my trip better. Visit or call Travelocity.
CD burners again with many flavors, many sizes, many colors. Actually, you know what? They almost all come in beige. You're going to buy the fastest one you can get. And if you're going to buy one of the CD burners I'm about to show you, I bet it's going to be the last one you ever buy.
You mean they can't get any faster?
They make it any faster, but if you drew a curve, right, going from like an 8X CDR, CDRW to a 12X, to a 16X, to a 24X, to a 40X, to a 48X, you watch the curves kind of flatten.
Well, you and I both have a 12X. Which seems fast enough to me. It takes me about 6 or 7 minutes to burn a CD.
First CDR I played with 2X, which means, 300 kilobits per second.
Oh, we should explain that, yeah.
Okay.
The original audio CDs were 1X,
CD.
150 kilobytes per second.
Which means how long does it take to record a
Multiply,
CD full of audio?
they're divided by 650
Half an hour,
megabytes. Takes a while.
Right.
So every X, you get another 150 kilobytes. Right. So on our 12Xs, we're getting about 1.8 megabytes a second burn rate. So that means it should ostensibly be about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more.
And it actually gets shorter. You get up to the 40X. Well, we got some benchmarks here. Let me show you what's going on.
Well, it doesn't continue on that.
Exactly. You would think at a certain point you'd think that it would just be seconds.
Right.
And the truth is, in doing things like closing out the disk for CD audio files, closing out the disk period if there's multiple in, seems to take a lot of time. And you look at
the lead in and the lead out.
Well, you start to look at it. Between let's take a look. 645 megabytes. This is a big file. Let's go to the full screen on that. This is a lot of data. 154 seconds for 48X CD-ROMs. That's literally 154 seconds. Let's divide that by 60. It's under 3 minutes.
Now, is this actual benchmarking? This isn't the mathematics we just did.
This is using Nero.
Okay.
This is Robert Herring.
He actually burned all
Gosh
these.
bless him. Sat down and spent a lot of time sitting in front of a steaming computer, burning disk after disk after disk.
What's this one that goes way out to the right here?
Well, that's a Pioneer. That's a DVR. Let's take a look at this. We're talking about two things primarily. You hold on to that. That's a DVD drive. That's the current DVD drive, which burns at approximately an 8X CDR.
This is the one that implodes if you use the new media.
Well, yeah, if you can buy the new media, which is another question. This is a $73 light-on 48X, 12X, 48X.
$70.
63 to 75 bucks.
For 48X, which is 48X. The fastest you can get now.
Yeah, we used to say, like I said, Robert spent a bunch of time burning. We used to see usually some significant differences between brands. A lot of times Yamaha and Plextor were leading. But the truth is we're looking at these 40 and 48X burners. And you know what?
That's fast. It's under 3 minutes.
We like cheap. I mean, take a look at this.
2 minutes, 34 seconds to burn.
This is the light on 154 seconds, same as the TDK 48X. Wow. Yamaha's coming out. I believe that's a 40X. Plextor, we've got a 48X and a 40X. What is the difference between that? There's less than 30 seconds difference between a 40X and a 48X. Now, if you got, a 12X, it starts to get a 12X, 16X.
Because it's going to take me 10 minutes compared to 2.5 minutes.
Right. If you burn a lot of CDRs, that starts to make sense. If you're somebody that creates a lot of mix files, if you use your CDR on a weekly or a daily basis to back up files, getting a
got this strawberry bagel. It's just really good.
20X CDR, I wouldn't bother upgrading at this point.
It's not that much faster.
Yeah, what I would start thinking about is next year, right? The Pioneer DVR, the AO4.
Strawberry cream cheese.
That's,
this is just a pig. But it's made for burning DVDs.
It's made for burning DVDs. But think about it this way. That's now, 12 months ago, that was selling for what, $600-700 bucks?
Yeah.
Now it's under $290. You can pick them up in retail bundling at most major stores.
One thing we should add, there's also a measurement of DVD burn speed, 1X or 2X.
Right.
That's not the same as the CD burn speed. In fact, it's about 9 times faster. So a 1X is like a 9X CDR.
Right.
A 2X is like an 18X CDR.
So since we've just completely, I'm pretty sure we lost everybody in the audience.
With all the numbers.
They've all just glazed over.
Math.
By this time next year, these things are going to be DVD drive, DVD-R, DVD-RW, DVD-R Plus, whatever it's going to be called at that point. They're going to be a lot faster. Yeah. They're going to be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, that's a safe bet.
I mean, literally, when we talk about, it's fun, it's hype, right? But 52X is going to come out. The truth is, the CDRs aren't getting much faster. They aren't going to get much cheaper. But DVD drives, the DVD-Rs, DVD recordable drives, they're going to get cheaper and they're going to get significantly faster.
So when you said the last CDR you'll ever buy, you're saying if you buy this one, it's as fast as you're ever going to need.
Right.
Chances are the next thing you buy will be a DVD recorder.
Right.
You won't be buying another CD recorder.
Because right now, if you burn movies and you burn CDRs, if you burn a lot of CDRs, there's a compelling reason to have both a CDR drive and a DVD-R drive. Because the DVD-R drive, RW, I keep saying that, right? DVD-R, RW, RW Plus, XYZ, whatever you want to call it, are significantly slower than the best CDR RW
CDs.
drives for burning, recordable and rewritable CDs.
Right. All right.
Let me say that. You got a 12 or a 16X or faster.
I actually, I feel like I see those DVD, like those recorders at Goodwill for like $5 now.
I should upgrade.
Well, you should. Now, you burn constantly.
The Plextor, which is a really good one. This is not a Plextor. Do I have to worry about the brand being not quite the...
Well, we were, at this point, I'd like to say that, back in the day, Plexstors used to be the Mercedes, the Alabama outhouse. They were built to withstand horrible, heinous things.
I didn't know that about Alabama outhouse.
Well, you will soon after you go to Birmingham. These days, they're still a good brand, but, let me put it this way. The Plextor 40X, $101, they've gotten less expensive. You and I paid close to $300 for a 12X drives. But the premium now is down to about $25, $26.
If I could get all that money that I'd wasted on old technology back, I'd be going to Acapulco right now. For more product links, go to the show notes. It's all there at thescreensavers.com. Now let's discover today's download of the day.
So earlier this year, I showed you a program that would make your Mac OS X dock invisible. It was called Transparent Dock, and naturally, you loved it. But if you upgraded to OS X 10.2, then you know that old Transparent Dock no longer worked. So thanks to Kevin from Free Range Mac for quickly creating a new program. It does work. Let's take a look at this. So here is what it looks like, and I'm going to scoot this thing over to transparent, all the way transparent, so that white background is gone. And then I'm going to make a little border of orange. I couldn't actually figure out how to make it with no border, so I'm matching the new, I guess that's yellow on the new thing. And there, wait, you ladies and gentlemen, transparent dock. Yeah, there it is. Isn't that beautiful? Invisible. Beautiful. You cannot run Jaguar without this program. It's still free, but if you pay the registration fee of $8, you can get some cool extra features like dock themes. Get the link to this program and similar app for Windows at thescreensavers.com. Leo, what's coming up next on this spectacular show?
Megan, stay where you are. All of you too, still to come on this very television program. Why is an old movie being re-released on the big screen? We'll let Tom Hanks and Ron Howard explain. And we'll give you some consumer tips on buying tech stuff in the real deal. And don't forget to pay attention to what we say today, so you can win a new Gateway computer later on in the show. Wow, wouldn't it be interesting if they could have used Gateway computers on the Apollo 12 mission? Yeah, Apollo 12. All that and more as the Screensavers rolls on.
This program is brought to you in part by Match.com.
It had to be you. It had to be you.
Every day.
Man, that bagel was really, really good.
Love at Match.com. With features
Like, it had like
Match
strawberry
style
cream
messaging.
cheese on it. Oh man, it was perfect.
And works.
Could make me be true. Could make me be blue. It had to be you. Wonderful you. It had to be you.
The world's first reconfigurable luxury SUT. Cadillac Escalade EXT. Breakthrough.
When the message is important, one tool keeps Tech TV connected. The Nokia 9290 Communicator, your ultimate wireless office. For more information, visit www.nokiausa.com. The Nokia Communicator, the official communicator of Tech TV.
Hi, I'm Todd from Lapeer, Michigan, and you're watching Tech TV.
Tonight on Tech TV. Radicals.
Yes, we have a soul, but it's made of lots of tiny robots.
Futurists.
We forecast the VCR before anybody had ever seen a VCR.
Innovators.
This is, Dolly.
Meet the most fascinating minds of our time on Big Thinkers. Tonight at 9, 8 Central, only on Tech TV.
What excites you? What makes you wonder? What new things make you say, wow? At Tech TV, new is what we do every day. Innovative television that explains, explores, and helps you understand how new things work. You got it! See the amazing, breathtaking world of technology through the eyes of one truly original television network. Tech TV, new things. Turn us on.
The first time Tech TV gave away Gateway PCs, it was a big hit. The second time we did it, the winners went wild. Now, by popular demand, the Tech TV Gateway PC giveaway is back. All this week, Tech TV's giving away Gateway 500 SE computers every weekday. For details and registration, log on to techtv.com/getapc. Then watch the Screensavers weeknights at 7 for your chance to win. Easy to enter, easy to win. Tech TV's Gateway PC giveaway is on now.
There you go. There's our new audience area. How do you like that? You like that audience area, gang? Yeah? We had a... we actually built a nice stand that was up in the air that gave them a view. It was carpeted, and the building inspector said they'll all die in an earthquake. So we took it out, and now you're sitting on the floor, so we'll all die together, I guess, is the idea. But you got a nice view, right? You know, it's good. Some seats have obstructed
If
views.
we see smokes from the lights, is that a problem?
I would not smoke if I were you. Is that what you're asking me? That is dangerous. Welcome back to the Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte.
And I'm Patrick Norton.
Smoke them if you got them.
For joining us. The Screensavers does not in any way condone or endorse the nasty habit of smoking.
Disgusting habit.
Coming up in this half hour, pimp for your books, pimp for the smoking companies. How much do they cut you a check for?
BrownandWilliamson.com.
Anyhow, we scour the weekend papers for some interesting tech ads. We're going to let you know which deals you should pay attention to and which maybe you should just chuck in the round file in today's installment of The Real Deal.
That's going to be fun.
And Tom Hanks, Ron Howard, Apollo 13 IMAX version. Marty has the scoop.
Is Ron going to give us the latest in hair growing treatments or anything?
I hope so.
All right. Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom.
Because I forgot to plug the book in the boot camp.
Yeah, I was just kind of tired from today. I had to work that early shift. I didn't want to stream too much because I wanted to kind of sort of hone in on trying to get more stuff done. You know, there might be days where I stream and might be days I don't. I'm trying, maybe try and even use these streams to kind of chill, but I don't know. It's
what that is. That's you and
You know, I haven't really had a lot of time to just chill.
also the one you did on
I've been reading my comic book stuff, but for the most part, like, it's just been, like, I've just been focusing on trying to do this, and I guess it's just been slowing me down sometimes. You know, I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, so that's a good thing. But, gosh darn, you know, I don't wanna say this in like a horrible way, but like sometimes I'm just like, ugh. Sometimes, because I'll come home and then just kind of like unwind for a bit and then just try and hone in on it, you know.
Let's check in with the fine folks over at Tech Live to see what's coming up tonight. Michaela Pereira, do you have all three?
Is it?
I'm gonna make you a deal, Leo.
Yeah.
How many books do I personally need to buy?
7.
Listen to this. I have a kitty. What are you saying?
Oh, 40, 50,000.
Sorry, my cat was just yapping at me.
You guys, the set looks great.
You like how it looks?
It looks so good.
For a long time, you guys had the best set, and
You
now I
need
think we're kind of catching
go
up.
over there.
Everything
Yeah.
It looks
No.
great.
No.
It looks really good. No,
Yeah.
I really like it. It's got that kind of San Francisco lofty appeal.
Thank you.
Very
Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come hang out there after our show.
Okay, we're just up 40 flights.
40 flights.
Yeah.
Is the elevator running?
Not yet.
All right, listen, I'm going to give you a preview of what's happening on
Hey,
Tech TV
stop it.
Tech Live tonight. Cutting-edge technology that's making surgery easier for doctors, and it's actually helping save the lives of their patients. Take a look at this 3D imaging. It's allowing doctors to navigate the brain during surgery with almost X-ray vision. Imagine that.
There we go. We're getting
Allowing
some
surgeons to see more. They can actually make
X-play.
smaller incisions in the skull, ultimately leading, of course, to less trauma. On Tech Live, we're going to take you inside the operating room. Also, we all know the real purpose of online dating is, of course, to eventually, you know, like, hook up face-to-face. Well, online dating service Match.com is cutting to the chase and taking dating offline with Match Live. Coming up on Tech Live, we'll get the inside scoop at one of these Match Live events and see just how it goes for date seekers when it gets up close and personal. But, of course, two fine gentlemen like yourselves don't need to know anything about that. Silence on the other end. Patrick, is there something you need to tell me?
Not wild horses could not drag
it out. That's all coming up tonight on Tech Live right after the new and improved Screensavers, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific.
Thank you, Mickey.
You're welcome.
All right, that's Michaela Pereira, and that's what's coming up on Tech Live.
Up next.
Tonight. Hey, if you get a newspaper on Sunday, you probably notice all those circulars and stuff. We like to take them, we like to dissect them, we like to tear them up into little pieces. We call it The Real Deal, and we're going to take a look at a couple of Sunday ads on our brand new giant screen here.
Can you see this at home, folks?
I don't know. It looks a little washed out. We're going to have to get it's a little bit of glare on that.
Okay, we're talking about the first one here. Watch your favorite TV shows in your own schedule. We talk about this all the time, so we love them so much. TiVo.
Look at that. How do you do that?
Looks a little brighter. Isn't that amazing?
That's nice, yeah.
But you know something else in here? Now, originally, the second generation of TiVo was only available, the Series 2 was only available at Best Buy.
That's brand new.
Right. Now it's available at Best Buy. It's available, I believe, Good Guys and a bunch of other stores,
This
and
is the Good
directly
Guys that we're looking at.
from TiVo. So you can now order a bunch of places. They're all going to be $349. New
What do you
low prices for everybody.
In Series 2, it has a Ethernet connection, doesn't it?
I don't think it has Ethernet connection.
Oh, all right.
We're still actually, you know, if anybody from TiVo is watching, we're still waiting to get an evaluation unit, and we'd love to make that product famous with a hands-on Screensavers test, but only if you fork the product over to our products people so they can sign it in.
I know it does. I know it does support USB. Yeah, that's one of the additions. So you could, in theory, I guess, get a USB.
We're actually hoping to do a full review on it, but until we have one, or I can actually find one for sale, because they were all
TiVo prices are down.
TiVo
That's
prices
good.
are down. The other thing is, you know something, they're showing up everywhere.
Oh, I took that away from you. Go ahead.
Took that away from me.
Go ahead, do it again.
The other thing is DVD video recorders are starting to show up. Remember
now, was that a TiVo?
This is not a TiVo. Remember when Philips started doing the CDR recorders, the home versions, they'd stack up nicely with your stereo or VCR?
Yeah.
This is essentially a DVD recorder. Another interesting device, so rather than using a DVD recorder inside your computer, they're putting it inside a nice piece of consumer electronics.
Now, I like this idea. I can't dub DVD movies to DVD using this because that would violate copy protection. They won't let you do it. But I can record off the TV, off my...
In theory, that's what you're supposed to do with
like
TV, or actually to be able to create, in some cases, they're set up to capture 1394. Basically, go through a 1394 cable and get video off your camcorder so you can create DVD that you can send to your family members, friends, business.
Let's talk satellite radio. XM, the prices have fallen considerably on XM.
Well, I think there's a reason why. Let's actually go to our highlight again. Check this out. XM's dropping, and actually, remember little old Sirius? They originally announced around the same time. The competing standard for satellite radio.
There's XM and there's Sirius.
And they're battling.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well, basically the idea is that the price is coming down, and it's going to be interesting.
This is Sirius's competition now. This is Sirius. Well, XM's on the left, and Sirius on the right.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that.
It's kind of funny. And if you look out above this, it's like Jensen CD receiver with detachable face, MP3 playback, Pioneer high-power car CD.
Oh, that's so weird. This was back when they were.
XM radio built in, which is one of the
these are all just a bunch of different but they're not with.
That's crazy. This was back when Sirius and XM were separate. Wow. I've always known it as Sirius XM.
I just had to do that.
He's so cute.
That's
Basically,
wild.
You end up with an external add-on to enable it. Now, some CD or some. Go ahead.
That's wild.
Yes, I couldn't resist.
I could tell. Knew this was going to be trouble. The thing is, though, is some head units are set up to use one or the other. Part of the reason they're not integrating it into the head units is because there isn't a single standard they think everybody's going to buy into yet.
So these are compatible.
It happened in 2008.
A modulator that plugs in between your antenna and the unit. Some of the head units are designed to have it plugged in. In a lot of cases, there's a box that goes in your trunk, a box that goes somewhere on your dashboard through the miracle of duct tape. Or Velcro, something like that.
We shouldn't wait.
Or they go in.
The prices are good now. They're going to come down.
Oh.
The truth is, to me, the reason they invented this was, that's why I carry CDs. The other thing.
Oh, look at that old smart board.
$75 is the discount in that.
I remember when the smart board was like fairly new, and it was like actually like pretty wild.
Head over to the screensavers.com. I can't do it. Screensavers.com and click on the show notes to see the ads we took.
You just write on it.
Our comments. Eventually, we're gonna get this board so it just goes right to the web page.
Really?
Yeah. Then I'll really have some fun. And there's still.
Look at that Kenwood advertisement. Oh my God.
Screensavers, because coming up next, we'll talk about how Tom Hanks and Ron Howard are using today's technology to re-release the old movies on the big screen. Stay tuned.
This program is brought to you by Atari's Terminator, Dawn of Fate.
The Terminator, Dawn of Fate, rated T for teen.
It had to be you. It had to be you.
Every day, millions get online, get in the game, and win at love at Match.com. With features like Match.com Messenger, Match is fun, it's easy, and it works.
Could make me be true.
And it works. I don't know. Speaking at where we're at now, I don't think it worked. Wait, when did they meet though? This is taking place in 2002. Come on.
I don't want to. You got a home loan from Ditech.com.
That Peter Griffin?
If the bank had been on the ball, I might have given you more consideration.
That's Peter Griffin.
To consolidate bills, apply now for a second mortgage from Ditech.com.
By the way, your Uncle Willie called. He's tired of waiting, so he's calling Ditech.com. You're not going to call Ditech, are you?
Ditech.com. Call 1-800-71-FIXED.
0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds. And it corners with almost no body roll. Does it handle as good as it looks? Come on, what's it like to drive one of those?
You tell me. The completely redesigned BMW 7 Series. If you don't have a friend who has one, you'll have to visit an authorized BMW center for a test drive.
One band speaks to millions. One album will tell you why. Creed, Weathered. Featuring the hits My Sacrifice and One Last Breath. Creed, Weathered. Order now.
And these Tech TV bumps, even though I didn't really grow up with them, they're super nostalgic.
Hi, I'm Jim Belushi from According to Jim, and you're watching Tech TV.
Wait, that was Jim Belushi. What?
Hey, the movie Apollo 13, directed by Ron Howard and starring Tom Hanks, garnered 2 Academy Awards back in 1995. Well, 7 years later, it's being
I heard Jim Belushi isn't a very nice person, but, you know, that's just what I've heard. Could be completely wrong.
Generation of moviegoers are going to experience the thrill of the film Apollo 13 in a whole new format, thanks to IMAX technology.
I went in with fingers crossed because I started with a test, but I was also fully prepared to sort of nix this idea if I didn't think it was going to work technically, or if somehow the presentation of the film was not going to be up to snuff. I don't understand the software, but look, I don't understand any software. But what I do understand is that it works.
We have liftoff. How it works is that IMAX uses DMR, otherwise known as a digitally mastered release process. It converts a 35mm frame into a digital format. The next step is to remove the film grain and enhance the sharpness of the image by using proprietary software. That image is then printed to 15 by 70mm film, which is 10 times the size of a conventional movie theater image. And I'm sitting in the front row, and your nostril is like 8 feet tall, and I'm thinking I'm watching Disney's The Black Hole.
That's right.
Was it kind of weird for you to see yourself that big?
My teeth was the size of, you know, a refrigerator at home. It's large. It's a large format. I was pleased, whatever, that it worked. That it was not that the domestic scenes, the scenes of regular people doing regular things, were not so weird, so big, so odd that you couldn't still concentrate on what was going on inside it.
So we've seen what IMAX did for Apollo 13. Do you think that this is the future of filmmaking?
I think, without a question, I think there's any number of filmmakers that could take a look at this and see this huge aspect ratio in which to compose shots and tell stories is very, very attractive. It's been the holy grail for IMAX for a while, but I think common sense has dictated no, you can't actually tell a story in a movie on such a big screen, but I think we've actually done it.
Houston, we have a problem. Some film purists resist the use of more and more technology in films. IMAX, computer-generated graphics, digital film. What's your take on this?
I think technology is the storyteller's friend, the filmmaker's friend. I think that movies more and more are offering, you know, the possibility of fulfilling sort of what exists in the filmmaker's mind and really the potential of the story. And that's got to be only good news for audiences.
Hey, if you want, you can find out more about the IMAX process over at thescreensavers.com. And be sure to tune in on Friday for my one-on-one interview with the legendary actor, Tom Hanks. I think Tom and I could be pretty close pals. In fact, maybe we should do a film project together. Probably be a big hit. Hey, stay tuned. Next up, we'll be giving away a brand new gateway system to one of you out there. And also, be sure to tune in later tonight on Tech TV. Catch more reports from Tech Live tonight at 8:30. And then at 9, catch an interview with composer Todd Mock.
I thought this was the pornography survey again. They're like, which one of you invents jerkmate.com? It's a new website. It's called Jerkmate. No. Was that Morgan Webb?
This one looks pretty exotic.
Cool.
Mosquito nets. What's that? Maybe not that exotic.
Great.
Everything you need to choose the hotel that's right for you.
Expedia.com. Next, please.
Well, hello.
Oh, great. A talking gecko.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Raccoonus. Rated E for everyone.
Got to thank, by the way, Brian Sussman for our great new theme music. Brian's in the studio. Thank you, Brian. Great job.
So one thing I like to do is I make both my eyes first before I do my pupils. There's some occasions where I don't do that, but for the most part I do it so I can like keep it still centered decently.
Pat, no connection to me, joins us on the phone.
Probably a lot of people who do that, but
How you doing tonight, Pat?
Hi, it's great to talk to you both.
All right,
I figured I'd mention it.
I want to get this right. You feel good? You watching the show?
Yep.
What Apollo mission was our guest, Dick Gordon, on?
Apollo 12.
Yes, absolutely right. We have a winner. Did I give you enough hints?
Why is he clapping like that?
So what are you going to do with this computer? Do you have a computer? Hello?
Oh, yes.
He fell over dead. Patty is...
I think I did.
All right. Do you have a computer already?
My daughter gave me hers.
So
Just Christmas.
This is going to be a little nicer than your daughter's, isn't it?
Oh, I know it.
What do you do with the computer, Pat?
Everything I can.
Pornography, Jim.
Your website.
Look at that gateway. My
Pat, that's so great.
my stepdad had one of these. He had a gateway. It was a little older.
Let's do that. Would you like a copy of the book, Pat? All right.
Take it, Pat, because he's charging everybody else.
Everybody else has to pay. We got 4 more gateways.
But no, I remember the gateway. It had like the cow cube.
When we do it again tomorrow. Woohoo! Do we have time for a call?
This is actually the second caller if Pat didn't win.
Oh, all right.
Are they like? Is that like a fucking bank teller? Is that a goddamn bank teller?
Stay here.
Like desk they're using? Oh, it's on wheels. They can move it around. That's kind of cool.
The screensaver.
But yeah, he had one of those.
Gateway, where you've got a friend in the business. With their incredible power, complete design, and affordable prices, Gateway's new computers are a great value. But now they're a better value than ever. Because right now, you can get free shipping with the purchase of select Gateway notebooks and desktops. Call 1-800-GATEWAY for details.
Rackspace manages over 6,000 web servers. Fanatical support has made us the second largest managed hosting company in the world. That means fantastic customer service with instant expert support. Say no to Colo. Call Rackspace today and get set up free.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine?
Introducing the GMC Envoy XL.
You've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine.
The midsize SUV engineered to comfortably seat 7 full-size adults.
Underway. You ain't seen nothing yet. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine?
This is Nick from Las Vegas, Nevada, and you are watching Tech TV.
You're watching Tech TV.
Ready for something new? This is Tech TV.
Now with a look at the coolest new stuff.
Television with a new twist, a bright idea, and a brand new perspective. It's robots and rocket cars. It's a digital pick and animated flick. It's a thrill ride. It's your gear guide. It's a puppet on a mission with a lead foot. It's a Top Gun, a home run. It's a factory fresh, fuel-injected, supercharged, supersonic, super friend. It's Tech TV. Why should you watch cybercrime on Tech TV? Well, what do you have to lose?
I think my total loss was in the $60,000 range.
I went through all my husband's insurance money.
Every week, cybercrime explores the dark side of technology. From personal privacy to online scams. From identity theft to adult content. Cybercrime exposes the hot topics
I'm sorry?
you need to know and won't see anywhere else. Watch Cybercrime. Tuesdays at 9, 8 Central on Tech TV.
I'm Michaela Pereira. Imagine what a doctor could do with X-ray vision. 3D navigation lets surgeons peel away skulls, see right through brains, and locate medical targets. This technology saves the search for tumors or lesions, allowing doctors to operate through smaller incisions and patients to recover more quickly. In this operating room, seeing is believing. Tech Live is coming up next.
This is Craig from Jacksonville, Florida, and you're watching Geek TV. What? Oh, sorry, you're watching Tech TV.
Be sure to catch tomorrow's episode. The stars of NYPD Blue chat about what tech they like best. Paul Sappho from the Institute of the Future tells us about what's ahead in technology. And Bill Dysel, author of Palm for Dummies, has some great Outlook email tips for us all on tomorrow's television program.
Good stuff.
Hey, how do you like the new digs? You like them?
it.
We got to thank Roger Ambrose, who is our set designer, and Sharky and Greg, who did all the building. You did a great job, Roger. We just love the new set. I already thank Brian Sussman, the guy who did our new music, Alan Calderon, who lit this whole thing, and of course the Tech TV graphics department, all the people in promotions, all the people who worked so hard to make
all
this
this
happen.
stuff you saw, is all just pretty much everything you've seen in the show except for us and our cohorts is new.
It's brand new, and we may be new tomorrow. We don't know.
You never know.
So thank you so much for everybody doing
such
such a great job. We really appreciate it. And thanks to John Kopchik for writing the check. John, where are you? All right. Our CFO's over there going, this costs what? How much?
I want to see results.
That's it. I said Jeff Calderon. That's it for this edition of the Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte.
Is that a Scuba Steve I spy in the chat?
You
Oh
know,
my
Mark,
God.
those are prosthetic dog testicles.
Yeah, I know.
Good day on X-Play. The Governor
Oh,
presents
welcome,
his budget to
Scuba
the state
Steve.
legislature in Terminator
We're
3.
watching some X-Play
Tasteful
today.
fashions of ESPN college hoops
And yes, the comic
and
is
sexual
looking
harassment 101
pretty
in Metal Gear
decent.
Solid, the Twin Snakes.
You got a great
It's
butt.
coming along.
Why, thank you, Snake. It's game
Dude, Scuba Steve, it is coming up. You know, the holiday that only comes 12 times a year. Nostalgia, it really is. We're watching some screensavers, but here, what year is this? Oh, it doesn't tell me. We could figure it out by the game they're playing. Best holiday. You know it.
Welcome to X-Play. On today's show, we have a brand new
Morgan Webb
game. College basketball
and Adam
Dungeon Siege
Sessler.
expansion pack. Plus, because people keep buying it, Railroad Tycoon 3.
Here,
There are 3 of them? Yeah, baffles me too. But we kick things off with a review of the new
Here, I'll show
Terminator
you
game.
some other
It's a
pages.
73 movie,
I
and
always
it's the
show
first
them
game
because I
used
feel like
Arnold
every
Schwarzenegger's
time on
voice and
stream.
likeness. Here's
But,
a review of Terminator 3. Rise
Here's
of the
one that we
Machines.
finished, I think like a couple nights ago. Which that one is page 5.
Oh,
I still gotta add screen tones to it.
Gave us a bleak post-apocalyptic future
Then
to look forward to.
this is another
And
page we
Cyborg.
finished like a week or so ago.
Now
So
you've
that's
given us a crappy
coming
game,
along there too.
Terminator
I
3,
actually will
Rise of the
upload the
Machines.
JPEGs of it. You could see like how crisp it
Atari
is,
undoubtedly thought
but
that they hit
it is
software
pretty
gold when they had the Terminator
clean.
3 license.
If I do say
After
so
all,
myself, I'm pretty
first-person
happy
shooter
about
where
it.
you
And then
play
here's
Arnold
another
sure
page.
seems like a winner, but
There's
aside
some
from the
screen
cutscenes
tones
where
on
you're
it,
staring
so
at
it's
the
like
governor's
physical.
cold, dead eyes, there's nothing
Yeah, right?
pleasant
It's
about
crazy.
this.
I'm
So thanks,
pretty happy.
Atari.
I'm happy how the
Thanks
rain
a
effect
lot.
turned out. But yeah, it just
The
some
game
of the
story
shit is
basically
kind of
mirrors the plot of the T3
you gotta kind of
movie.
like
Catch
work
up
with it
Connor,
and whatnot.
fight the
So,
sexy TX, watch Arnold
but
flex his impressive dramatic
and then here's
muscles.
like another page I did practice on. This was like me trying to learn more comic stuff, you know. Where did you upload them? Oh, I didn't even upload them yet. I was gonna put them on my
The
Discord.
future looks like crap. There's so many little things wrong here. It's hard to enjoy any of it. The first-person viewpoint feels dangerously claustrophobic and
Here, let me
disjointed.
throw them on
And
the
controls
Discord
are
art. I'll
woefully
throw them on
twitchy,
the
making it difficult to
Discord
play
art
right
page.
from the start. I think I hit him. As you can see, muddy, grainy graphics just look dull and low res, and many of the levels are filled with boring gauntlet run sequences where you mow down enemies with bad AI.
Outstanding.
Thank God batteries from the future are just lying around on the lawn. Then there's the part of the game where you fight the TX in hand-to-hand combat. It ends up looking like some absurd version of Rock'em Sock'em Robots or the Three Stooges. She's not so pretty without her skin, is she? I guess some ladies don't respond.
There we go. I just uploaded them.
The governor has partied too hard. It doesn't help that half the time the Terminator and the TX look like they're at the junior prom.
But yeah, it's really crazy because I'm really trying to make those inks sharp, you know. Also, we were just watching a commercial for this game on a screensavers.
But why not watch some more T3?
Well, thank you,
Here's the governor
Scuba.
pointing a gun at an old lady. Here's the governor
But
punching a
how
woman.
have you
Here's
been?
the governor shooting police
As
officers in a church.
I know last time I think
And now
we
he's
talked,
blowing
he
up
was on the
police
stream
cars
too.
with his fists.
But anything fun happen? Did you gain like a
thought this was a
robotic
good
arm?
idea.
Or have like one of those tanks in Vice City that blows up cars when they get like touched by it?
Can you tell me anything?
I killed you.
What the hell is he talking about? Despite its star power, we give Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, and Apocalyptic 2 out of 5.
An Apocalyptic 2. The Big O, it's been good. It's been a lot of expanding. We're getting like
trademark that look.
we're getting more like tall ass buildings around Main Street.
Those are the developers
And,
behind the dreadful
you know,
Fugitive Hunter.
more
So they're really making
bars.
us suffer
It's like we'll
this
get a
year.
couple places closing and then more places opening up.
Publisher Atari inexplicably included
But
a demo
I don't know
level
if I
of
told you this, but
Terminator 3
you live in Austin. That's the same place where Ghost lived before he moved to San Antonio. So I think that's kind of funny.
I'm
You're in
convinced that
Ghost's
the Rise
area.
of the Machines game escaped a 1 out of 5 because the cutscenes are pretty, and we get
Yeah,
distracted by
there's just a
pretty
lot of
things.
stuff happening in it, you know? Yeah, right.
We have another
Yeah, he's going
basketball
bizarre.
game.
But yeah, there's
Yeah,
just
we
a
already
lot
been
of
looking
stuff.
at
Like,
some March
you know,
Madness and 99 Sports
I don't
is
know
a
how many times
atrocious
you've been to
NCAA
Lambeau
Final
Field
Four
before,
2004.
but I used to go to it pretty frequently. I mean, I would pass it like every day when I would go to Green Bay when I lived, you know, more up north. But like, no joke, it is insane how much has grown over in that area. It's like, I remember when there used to be like a Kmart and like a few other places, and now it's like a completely different
When
place.
you already have an NBA game, an
But yeah,
NHL
you know,
game, and
just
an
a
NFL
lot of
title
stuff.
in your portfolio, what are we possibly forgetting here?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to ESPN College Hoops.
That's right, college.
What am I
hoops.
doing? See, I'm tweaking that.
So you're like, Adam, it's not just a watered-down version of their NBA game with a less sophisticated engine, diluted control set, and shallow modes of play in an attempt to quickly satisfy less demanding fans, is it? Well, yes and no. On the one hand,
Man,
ESPN
is this like,
College
I think this is
manages to succeed
Xbox.
with its emphasis on the
Steve,
unique
did you have an
atmosphere so essential in
Xbox?
college
I feel
games.
like you would have had an original Xbox growing up.
This includes, but is not limited to, the guy with the rainbow wig. So anyway, we're going to give them an A for atmosphere, or anarchy, or a cheer.
I only played a Xbox once, and it was Halo 2. It was very brief, and I was terrible at it
When
online.
they have a kid who can pass like that.
Of course, none of these flourishes affect gameplay in the slightest, but they make you feel like you are competing at a college venue.
And this is Mike Patrick here with Jay Millis.
The commentary is excellent, with ESPN's Mike and Jay calling the shots.
Nothing but net. It's the execution that's made him very happy.
The other time I played an original Xbox was when I had I was at a party. It was like one of my dad's parties. It was like a friend's place, and they had a room where they had like this big like 40-inch rear projector, and they were playing Vice City, like the Xbox version, and nobody was really playing it, so I started playing it.
In D minus.
And all I remember was I got into the Apache,
when blocking your shots,
and I started doing a vigilante mission, and I just started blasting shit like
so, although the
crazy.
gameplay could use another semester of work, the Legacy mode in particular oozes with depth. Another A right there. Plus, we've got air hockey, a slam dunk competition, online games, and air hockey. And I've already mentioned it, but I wanted to mention it again. I own you, Fulio. Oops. Oh, didn't see that one. Stupid control pad. Anyway, ESPN College Hoops is definitely not the end-all college hoops game, but it's fun to play. It offers several addictive features, and the atmosphere helps bring up the curve. Still, they won't be going All-American this year. We give ESPN College Hoops a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I've been also reading a lot of comic books too.
The rainbow wig is timeless.
So are commercial breaks. Here's one of them.
Fusion Frenzy. I gotta. Is this like a puzzle game or?
Another RPG with giant rats.
Oh yeah. What?
Free?
Free?
You're giving it away free.
Hi, I'm Rob Graham, the president of Vital Basics, and I want to give you a bottle of Focus Factor, one of our best-selling supplements.
Promo
absolutely
poster.
free.
Fusion
Why
Frenzy.
would we give away
Is it
a
like
free
a
bottle of
fighting
Focus
game?
Factor?
It looks like.
Because we know that if you try
You're in
it,
like a
you'll
ball.
buy it. Focus Factor contains nutrients that work with
It
your
was
natural
Mario
brain
Party but
chemistry to support
Xbox.
focus,
Interesting.
concentration, and memory.
See, I
With
never heard of
satisfied
that.
customers in all 50 states,
There was
now is your
I think
chance
there was
to
like a
buy
Jet
Focus
Fighter
Factor
game too on the
absolutely free.
Xbox.
Simply
I
call the
remember
number on the
playing.
bottom of your screen,
But
and we'll send
my
you a full-size
knowledge
bottle
of the
Focus
library
Factor
is
for
very limited.
$75 value, absolutely free.
I feel like you would have
simply
played like a
provide
lot
$4.95
more
to
of
help
those
cover the cost
games.
of
You would have been
shipping.
in
They
that
let you try it
Xbox
free?
crowd. I was a
It must
Nintendo
be good.
person, so.
You know, I've been taking Focus
Well, you were a
Factor since
Nintendo
we
person
introduced it over
too, but I
2.5
feel like you
years
had
ago,
more of a
and I wouldn't
grip
work a day without it.
To get your free
on
Focus
your
Factor,
tech
call
stuff.
1-800-600-5764. 1-800-600-5764.
I began losing my hair about a year ago. Is it ever gonna stop?
What causes it to fall out anyway? Let's say I'm ready to do something about my hair loss. What are my options?
Why me?
It's hard to know what to do when you start losing your hair. That's where Bosley comes in. For over 25 years, people have turned to us for answers to their questions about hair loss and hair restoration.
So what is natural hair restoration? Where does the hair come from? Is it
Natural hair
permanent?
restoration.
To find out, just call this toll-free number. We'll send you this free video and comprehensive guidebook that give you the real facts about hair loss.
That
and
is
the choices you
true.
have
That is
for
the
dealing
right
with
thing
it.
to do.
Financing is
That
available.
you got
So call now
simplicity and
discover how
ingenuity
Bosley
right
has
there.
advanced the science
And then
of
there's just,
natural hair
Xbox.
restoration. How they use
I
your
will
own
admit
living
though,
hair
I
to
will
fill
say
in
this,
box.
that
You'll also
Xbox
meet people who were
360
once
era
losing their
was
hair
like
and see
peak.
what they looked like
You
then
could
and
not
now.
beat
But here's the
you
big
could not
question.
beat
You
that
think my
era
barber will remember me? Learn about all
with a
your
10-foot
options.
pole.
Call now and get the information you need to determine if hair restoration is right for you.
I remember getting GTA 4 on that thing and
intrigue.
people just bragging
That's
about
just
how
the
good it
first
looked on the
5
Xbox
minutes. Tech
360.
TV's explosive Friday nights. Learn tricks of the spy trade on Spy School. Then get up close and personal with military.
I remember the only thing the Xbox was kind of lacking on was the fact that it didn't have a Blu-ray player compared to the PlayStation, which was genius on Microsoft's, or excuse me, Sony's end. But it made sense, but it was just like, it wasn't like the Wii that didn't have anything at all, and they still don't.
When Dungeon Siege came out in 2002, it sold well because it was an accessible RPG that made it easy for you to control multiple characters.
And now there's a new expansion pack for it. But don't worry, if you're new to the game, it comes bundled with the original title so everyone can enjoy the new content.
Oh,
Enjoy killing
yippee.
giant spiders, that is.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Here's a review of Dungeon Siege Legends of Arana.
Have you been streaming more? I was just, that was just cool seeing
Life is tough if you live in a
Dan the
fantasy
Ballunatic
land. Oh yeah,
stream.
things might be okay for
I
a little while.
haven't
But
seen
then, of course, some big evil
his
shadowy
stream in like
thingy
a hot
comes along
minute,
and
so that's
everyone's
pretty
at
sick.
risk. But wouldn't you know? The great heroes happen to be elsewhere. Maybe they're at Gen Con. Who knows? So, in order to emphasize how desperate things are, they come to you to bail out the world.
And he's looking for someone to clear out the monsters. It's time to prove yourself.
That's how the expansion pack, Dungeon Siege Legend of Arana, begins. And it's safe to say it won't carve new territory in the fantasy writing department. But as a game, it's got something going for it. If you haven't played Dungeon Siege before, you might think it's just a Diablo clone. It does follow the conventions: fight beasts outdoors, collect loot, go in dungeon, fight beasts in dungeon, collect loot. It does have a little more going
you
for
know.
it. Primarily, it's
Everybody's
really
got
pretty.
time and
The
sort of a
beautiful
purpose
environments will
with
keep
it,
you
you
coming
know.
back to see what's
Maybe
next.
even
Also,
if
the
you
game
just
has
sort of
no
throw
loading
it in
screen, so
there
once you start playing, all
once
you
in a
do
blue
is
moon.
play.
But I get what you mean. It can be like socially draining.
Rather than clicking on the enemy,
It was very cozy. I like the gimmick of the bird.
Upon an enemy. From that point, the game just automates, and you primarily monitor health.
That's a really
you can't adjust how aggressive your
cool
characters
Pokemon thing he's got going.
Party, but if you like a little
I'm
more
glad I was there to
in your
witness
games,
the Gyarados finally
you may need some
evolving.
tiddlywinks on hand to keep yourself busy. Though the biggest issue with Legend of
I'm
Arena
trying to
is the lack of
personally get back
variety
into
of
my art
monsters.
stuff
There are
more.
a good number of
The
them, but at
bird
any given
rule.
time, there's only a handful of
It
types,
really is,
like here.
honestly.
It's
It
some big
really is
spiders.
such a damn
Now I'm
thing.
fighting other big spiders. Okay, now it's big
That's
green
great.
spider. Holy crap, it's small yellow spider. And it's half man, half spider spiders. But hold on, it's a really big old spider that farts out small purple
But
glowing spiders.
what I was gonna say before was I've been reading a lot more comic books. I mean, I don't know if I told you this, but I work at the comic book store on Main Street in town.
Okay, got past that. There's got to be something new.
Super
It's-
cool. I've been doing that so I can learn my medium craft better. It has been helping me quite a
Unlike
bit.
medieval Orkin Man. More or less, if you like the first Dungeon
For the
Siege,
most
you'll
part,
like
my
Legend of
style
Arena, but
has
the changes are so
at
modest
least
between
gotten
the
better
two,
to a
that it's
point
not
where
gonna
I'm
win over
confident enough
any
of making it a
detractor.
thing.
But it's a fine
Yeah,
continuation
House of
the
Heroes,
gameplay
yeah.
style. A 3
And
out of 5.
it's been like a lot of cool stuff. I started there like a couple years ago, and you know, I've been reading a lot of old stuff, reading a lot of new stuff, and I had this weird epiphany moment. Okay, after reading a comic book series, it's super popular now. It's like infamous. Have you ever read the Watchmen books? Because I know whatever has been said about it, it's an understatement. They are amazing. You'd be surprised how many regular people, you know, have not read those books, but they are just, it is a science of how to make like the medium. Everybody's got like their favorite book or just series in that, but that book, you know, is one of those books I think a lot of people will be like, that's something you need to check out.
Been flying off the shelves, but we want everyone to get a free
It really
pack of
is like
software.
my work like
offer, giving you
has
time to
just
call in
transformed
right now and get a great
greatly
pack of software
from
for the
my
whole
first
family,
comic,
free.
and
These
I would
self-help
hyper
informational CDs contain a
recommend
wealth of
reading
knowledge
it,
that no home should be
Scuba,
without.
because it
Take
is
a look at what you get free
like
from household
it
names
is
you know and
amazing.
trust, like Home Depot, Rand Big
There are
Belly,
other
American
comics
Medical
out there, like, you
Association,
know,
and
there's like
more.
All-Star
From wallpapering
Superman,
and plumbing to building cabinets,
you
let the
know,
Home Depot experts show you how to
I'm
do
trying
all
to
your home
like, there's like
improvements.
a
Then
lot of
create
the
your own home on
Spider-Man
your
stories.
PC.
You could just
Repaint,
throw a
add new
dart
addition,
at
and
the
see it
board
all
and be
in a
like,
3D
those are like
walkthrough.
peak storytelling.
Create customized printable
But
travel maps
like,
of anywhere in North America. Plan
and they all
trips
have
ahead
different
of time, add
purposes
points
with
of
people,
interest,
and Watchmen is
restaurant
one of
stops,
those
and
books.
more. You'll
It's-
never get lost again. Research almost anything in seconds.
I'm just
History,
gonna grab
maths,
it. Like
nature,
this book
science,
right here.
geography, trivia, and
After I
more.
read
And
it,
for medical
I
help for your family, turn to
completely
the
saw the
Family Medical
medium
Guide,
in a
covering
completely
everything from
different
minor
light.
scratches and burns
Like,
to
not saying I'm on
emergency
par of
assistance with
level
CPR, shock,
of this
bleeding,
kind
and
of
heart attack.
storytelling,
It's
but it
essential for any home.
made me
That's over $100
understand
in free software
what
that turns all this
possibilities
into
are
this.
with the
All you
medium,
pay
and
is
it's
$6.95 for
absolutely
shipping and
incredible.
processing. It
And
really is
like I
free.
said, I see
Video Professor gives you
the
all
storytelling
this
in a
free
completely
because we
different
know
way,
once you see how
and
these CDs improve your life,
it's
you'll
so
come
good.
back
I'm
to
not
us
saying
for
I'm a
more great
genius, but I
software.
just
You have no
cannot
contracts to
believe
sign and no
how
commitments. Plus, as an
ingenious
added
it is
bonus, if you call
sometimes,
right
you
now,
know,
we'll also
but
throw in an
that's all
extra
I can
free
say
gift.
about it.
This
It's
free
great.
typing
It's
tutorial
great.
uses fun
It's-
games and tests to improve
it's
your typing
changing.
skills. This special extended offer can't last forever, so make sure you don't miss out. It's free. It's risk-free. Our friendly operators are standing by, so call right now to get your free software pack. To get your free software pack and free bonus CD, you must call now. Call
Oh, man.
1-800-327-1464.
We're getting our bots again. Look at that. And get the best viewers at streamboo.com. See, I'm giving these guys more promo on my stream than anywhere
Friday
else.
to Monday, just
It really
$9.99 a
is.
day. So take off this weekend.
I notice also the bots only appear when when people are in the chat.
Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
How does he know?
I don't know. He's a voice.
Welcome back to X-Play.
But yeah, they're so good. It's
The Railroad Tycoon franchise.
it's really a great book.
Like me.
I hyper recommend
Now
it.
it's pulling into the station for its third installment.
You'll read it
But
and
I'm
just
tired of all the damn train
it'll
metaphors,
definitely
so let's
give
just
you a
watch
different
this review of
perspective on
Railroad
things.
Tycoon 3.
My parents died when I was just a boy.
Okay, I know. Awful
whole song, but Railroad Tycoon 3 is actually an incredibly addictive game. Yes, in the modern world, trains may be going the way of the horse and buggy, but damn, they're still fun to play with. To start, you can pick from different scenarios with lists of tasks to complete, such as laying track from Boston to Buffalo, earning a certain amount of cash, or dropping miles and miles of railroad by a certain date. And the brand new 3D engine lets you pan around the action.
I still can hear the steam escaping.
No, stop. No more of that whiskey-soaked country crap. Whew, okay, back to the game. As a business tycoon, you have a great deal of input, and a lot of your success rests on fate. Simply put, when the economy is up, you do well. When it's down,
Personally,
you don't.
that GameCube era of X-Play I remember the most.
You can keep an
I
eye
always
on your stocks
remember,
and market
or
as well.
GameCube or PS2,
is
I always
basically a
remember
crash
getting
course
like
in Econ
legitimately
101.
excited for
Everything from the
any
cargo
kind
to
of review of
passengers
any
makes an
Star
impact on
Wars
your bottom
game
line.
or
For instance,
Nintendo
people
GameCube
won't use a
game.
train that
I don't
goes
know,
between
it just
Dallas
it had a
and Fort
vibe
Worth
to
if they
it.
just need to get to Wichita Falls. You'll have to drop a line in a station there or hook up to an existing railroad system run by another player to make your customers happy.
The gleaming of the engines took my breath away.
Not again. Send that singer home to his cousin/wife. Thank you. Anyway, as for cargo, you need to follow a set of rules that determine which delivery points make the best dollar cents for each train. You can tell the manager to pick up freight, express, a specific cargo, or a little of them all, and also set the maximum number of cars on your train. You can even choose to include a caboose or dining car, which passengers love. Your true job is to finish your mission while making the passengers happy at the same time. If they suffer, your bottom line suffers. Easy as that. If all that biz nonsense turns you off, you can go to the sandbox and have a little fun without worrying about your finances.
But now my blood is of the railroad.
Fine, just finish, will you?
Hogwarts looking.
It's a simple, laid-back kind of game, but you'll be surprised at just how cool it is to create railroads and watch the towns grow. It's like being 5 years old all over again and playing with train sets.
It's kind of
Except
cool.
now you get to step it up and handle the finances and cargo as well. X-Play gives Railroad Tycoon 3 a 4 out of 5.
That's not a bad score.
See, we make fun of the concept of Railroad Tycoon, but it's still a good game.
If you like trains. Dorks.
Up next,
Sounds like a spy movie.
flagrant abuse of bullet time in Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes.
Ooh.
Mr.
Twin
Shatner,
snakes.
Please have a seat. We have to let you go.
But I'm the voice of Priceline.
But now it's the new Priceline.
What's new about it?
You can actually choose your flights, times, even airlines from a selection of very low fares.
Or you can still name your own price and save even more.
But who could possibly replace me?
Hi, guys. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Leonard. The new Priceline. Now there's a choice.
Any company can promise you lots of resumes. But only Yahoo Hot Jobs uses Yahoo's search technology to make it easy to find the perfect candidate or the perfect job.
This is Steve. I believe he's who you were looking for.
Thank you.
Anytime.
New Year's resolution number 1, get a new job. Yahoo Hot Jobs can help you start the new year with a new job. Number 2, help those who help others. We'll be helping job seekers start 2004 off right, and we'll also be helping out the Junior Achievement Organization with a donation. Number 3, come into some bling bling. Sign up, post, or update your resume with Yahoo Hot Jobs for a chance to win a $20,000 signing bonus. For more information, visit hotjobs.com today. Above all, we resolve to help all Americans have a prosperous new year. Yahoo Hot Jobs. Find the right one.
The greatest games in the world are the ones where you are the champion.
I don't know what happened there.
Robinson throws it down with authority. Davis sets the solid pick. Williams nails it.
Madden, NHL 2004, Tiger Woods PGA Tour.
And the world's greatest games are all on X-Play.
We're going to tell you which one is worth your money and which one you should skip at all costs.
Adam Sessler, Morgan Webb. X-Play, weeknights 11:10 Central, only on Tech TV.
Hidden below the belt.
Wow!
going for the jugular.
What about that for an attack?
Dirty pool.
Look at the damage caused by the fluffy blade.
In this arena, it's all part of the game.
Google's tail's on fire.
Robot Wars, where sportsmanship takes a backseat to one rule. Survival of the baddest.
Matilda's caused real damage there.
Tricked out killer robots smash, slam, spin, and burn. Robot Wars. Weeknights at 10, only on Tech TV.
Can I get some music, please?
Haven't seen Unscrewed lately? Take a look at what you're missing.
I'm like a Greek god, an Adonis.
Do you think the aliens from outer space wear a lot of doodads on their hats? No.
This is awkward.
Unscrewed. Weeknights at 11:30, 10:30 Central, only on Tech TV.
Insert sarcastic comment here for Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Now that's just lazy.
Yeah, he's getting lazy.
Yeah. Welcome back to X-Play. And now the moment you've been waiting for. The new Metal Gear Solid game.
Well, okay, it's not entirely new. It's a remake of 1998's Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation.
But this is no mere port. The gameplay has been entirely redone by Silicon Knights. Now, these are the developers behind the excellent Eternal Darkness. So now it plays like Metal Gear Solid 2.
And it has beautiful new cutscenes, so it's almost like a whole new game. Here's our preview of Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes.
If you're feeling a twinge of deja vu right now, well, congratulations on your competent levels of perception. You're looking at the remake of the PlayStation classic Metal Gear Solid. It's had a hefty facelift and a name change, but Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes is a nostalgia trip made new all over again on the GameCube. Obviously, it's much prettier than the PlayStation version. Check it out, Snake has eyes now. The story remains unchanged. Solid Snake must infiltrate an Alaskan nuclear facility that has been taken over by the colorful folks in Special Forces Unit Foxhound.
Vulcan Raven, Giant and Shaman, and Revolver Ocelot.
All the voices have been re-recorded and new cutscene material has been added. For instance, the briefing scene that sets up the story is now redone in 3D.
So, someone needs to penetrate, gather intelligence, and report back. Sounds like a spy movie.
And Snake is still a dork.
Sounds like a spy movie. Sounds like a spy movie.
Most of the additions to the cutscenes are little things that add to existing scenes. Whoa, that's new. They also spiced up the fight choreography. Hope you like bullet time, folks. Since the original game, it seems the characters have seen The Matrix a few too many times.
Whoa.
As far as gameplay goes, most of the improvements made in Metal Gear Solid 2 have been carried over into Twin Snakes. Improved AI means the genome soldiers can see you from further away.
Huh?
They'll also be much more methodical in hunting you down once they know you're there. Luckily, Snake has his rolling attack and tranq pistol to even the odds. He also likes to hit on women during life-threatening terrorist crises.
I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
Yes, he may be a badass infiltrating machine, but he's still a dork.
Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
What's this? I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake?
I never forget a lady.
So there's something you like about me, huh?
Yeah, you got a great butt.
Butt? Oh, I see. First it's my eyes, now it's my butt. What's next?
On the battlefield, you never think about what's next.
I do. Meryl Silverberg, you're a big fine woman. Won't you back that thing up?
Adam, get the hell out of my preview.
Sorry, had to be said.
It's the same game you know and love, but updated for the 21st century. Slated for a spring 2004 release, Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes is set to be the Star Wars Special Edition of gaming.
Sounds like a spy movie.
And that would be the equivalent of Greedo shooting first.
Sounds like a spy movie.
Dork!
Sounds like a spy movie. Sounds like a spy movie. Sounds like a spy movie. Sounds like a spy movie.
You know what it sounds like?
What?
A spy movie.
No.
Yeah, I know.
You know, that's Solid Snake. He just has a way with the ladies. There's just something about sexual harassment just turns the ladies on.
Yeah. Well, the game also has polygonal pants wetting and a naked crouching man. Now, to me, that is a turn off.
And of course, the Twin Snakes is a GameCube exclusive, but fans waiting for the new Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater will have to pick up a PS2 because that's only going to be available on that console.
And if that game has as many extras and Easter eggs as the other Metal Gear games, we'll be playing that one over and over again as well.
And we have just enough time for viewer mail.
And this is even before Metal Gear 3 came out. Snake Eater, like, redefined the entire series.
I heard a rumor that there was going to be another
Like, 2 was like a step in the right direction, but Snake Eater was like, oh my god.
Well, Chris, the scoop in Hollywood is that there is a sequel to Wind Waker tentatively scheduled to come out this year. It's based on in the same Zelda universe and uses the same art style as Wind Waker.
What channel is this almost having? It's like E. Though the title hasn't been announced yet, good news is that Nintendo says it'll be playable at this year's E3. Yes. And you can rest assured that we'll be there to bring you the details as soon as we get them.
Yes, I'm going to play it first, though. I'm going to steal it from Adam.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay, dibs. That's fine.
I get dibs.
So just be warned, since this is Nintendo, it may not necessarily be coming out this year. We just hope it will.
Yes, and we don't actually know what it's going to be called yet, so we'll see.
Or anything like that.
Right. But if you want more information on any of the reviews you've seen here today, you can always go to our website, which is at techtv.com/xplay.
You know, maybe we'll call it Windbreaker.
You think so?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That
Like
might
the
be
jacket?
Good. Like a jacket or flatulence
right.
or something like that.
Right. I wasn't going to say that, but thanks for
just those wacky guys making them Zelda games. All right.
Yes. You
Come
can
to the website.
download, Naked Raiden.
Oh, that's right,
awesome.
Naked Raiden. And we have some naughty porn games.
Yes.
All right,
yes,
love those.
And we have reviews of nice games, too. Good night.
Good day.
Here. It's based on in the same Zelda universe and uses the same art style as Wind Waker.
What channel is this almost having? It's like E. Though the title hasn't been announced yet, good news is that Nintendo says it'll be playable at this year's E3. Yes. And you can rest assured that we'll be there to bring you the details as soon as we get them.
Yes, I'm going to play it first, though. I'm going to steal it from Adam.
Okay.
Yay!
Okay, dibs. That's fine.
I get dibs.
So just be warned, since this is Nintendo, it may not necessarily be coming out this year. We just hope it will.
Yes, and we don't actually know what it's going to be called yet, so we'll see.
Or anything like that.
Right. But if you want more information on any of the reviews you've seen here today, you can always go to our website, which is at techtv.com/xplay.
You know, maybe we'll call it Windbreaker.
You think so?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That
like
might
the
be
jacket?
Good. Like a jacket or flatulence
right.
or something like that.
Right. I wasn't going to say that, but thanks for
just those wacky guys making them Zelda games. All right.
Yes. You
Come
can
to the website.
download, Naked Raiden.
Oh, that's right,
awesome.
Naked Raiden. And we have some naughty porn games.
Yes.
All right,
yes, we
love
do.
those.
And we have reviews of nice games, too. Good night.
Good day.
Why? That's X-Play.
Today on X-Play. Yeah! Turn the key. Spin the globe. And throw a parade.
The me one?
Take a look at yourself.
Oh, this is for the Wii.
Sessler. Morgan Webb. Prepare to be reviewed. Prepare to be reviewed. This is X-Play.
Hello and welcome to X-Play.
Yes, sirree, and we got an episode for you today. It's pure white, motion-sensitive goodness as we spend the entire episode making sweet, sweet love to the Nintendo Wii.
Or at least reviewing some games for it. Games like WarioWare Smooth Moves, taking the most interactive party game series of all time and putting it on the most interactive console of all time. And we'll take a look at the best and worst of the Wii Virtual Console. Later in the show, we've got our review of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, one of the best games for a console that's got a lot of good games.
We begin with the party game my co-hostess referenced some moments ago. In a world full of people complaining about short attention spans and students who can't find the United States on a map of the United States, it's nice to have at least one game that doesn't bust your chops. It respects you for who you are, and it changes subject every 5 seconds or so. Here's WarioWare Smooth Moves. If you're like most of our audience, you probably love watching these beautiful ladies play WarioWare Smooth Moves for the Wii. Well, you're out of luck, because that's all the footage Nintendo sent us. So, for the rest of the review, you'll have to settle for watching this guy play with his Wii. We're sorry. But we're not sorry to report that no matter who plays it, the latest installment in the WarioWare franchise is a ton of fun. The motion-sensitive controller is the perfect match for this collection of super quick minigames. Smooth Moves is all about deep character development and rich, epic storylines. Oh wait, that's actually never what these games are about. But there is still a plot. You see, a long time ago, the Wii Remote was a mysterious pointing device that everyone coveted. Years later, when his junk food gets stolen, Wario stumbles upon the ancient artifact, or as it's called here, the Form Baton.
Hold the form baton straight, with the tip pointing forward.
Is it my imagination, or is the narrator hitting on me?
Perfecting this dance requires grace, steadiness, and tight shorts.
There are lots of different ways to hold the wand, and Smooth Moves uses all of them. There's the remote, where you simply point it at the screen, or the waiter,
Man, even
where you
the
hold it
Wii
like a
era is
tray,
starting to
or
feel good.
the elephant, where you pretend that it's an enormous nose. We're sorry to report that there's no Gerard Depardieu minigames included. There are a lot of compilations for the Wii, but when it comes to sheer variety, WarioWare is still the best around. Over 200 minigames are yours for the play. You heard us right, over 200. Now granted, most of them are over pretty quick, like this game where you skewer meat for some random buff dude, or this round of domestic violence where you shove Japanese girls onto their butts. However, there are some meatier boss levels, like this brain-teasing stacking puzzle, or this challenging boxing match, or even a psychedelic dance-off. Yeah, it would be really nice to have those Japanese girls back now. For you hardcore Nintendo nerds, and we know there are several in the audience, there are some games you're bound to love, like this appearance by Samus Aran, or this canine cameo by the Nintendogs. Where the game really shines is the robust multiplayer mode. Our intern only had one friend to invite over, but the game supports up to 12. Best of all, you only need one controller, which you pass around frantically each turn. Ritual humiliation is the order of the day. Make no mistake about it. This is a game that is designed to make you look stupid. And boy, does it ever work. Two gripes hold us back from greatness. The game is simply too short. You could unlock almost every challenge in an afternoon. If brevity is the soul of wit, WarioWare Smooth Moves is goddamned hysterical. We had some trouble with the Wii Remote when it came to precise movements. The game works best when you're playing rough. All right, time to zip things up. Overall, this is the perfect demo for proud new Wii owners, and a great purchase for those who just want to practice their squats. WarioWare Smooth Moves gets 4 nose picks out of 5.
The WarioWare series has produced some of the best games with booger-related jokes of all time.
If you're in the mood to try out some of Nintendo's earlier games, be they booger-related or not, they're offering a new service, the Wii Virtual Console.
Here's a look at the best games the Virtual Console has to offer.
By now, most of you have beaten Twilight Princess, bowled numerous frames Wii Sports Bowling, and created a plethora of memes. If you're tapped out of Wii sources and have some Wii points to spare, we've got a roundup of the best Virtual Console games that should be added to your array of Wii channels. A billion years ago, circa 1990, on a little-known console known as the TurboGrafx-16, there was a little Neanderthal kid with a huge head named Bonk. Bonk's adventure was one of the first 16-bit platformers around, and his name suggests he went around hitting enemies with his head. He was Zinedine Zidane, 16 years before there was a Zinedine Zidane. If you ever wonder what the TurboGrafx-16 was capable of, or if you're all about 90s headbanging, then this is the game to download. Next on our list is Sonic the Hedgehog. Believe it or not, the blurry blue furry was so good he rivaled Mario during the 16-bit console wars. His high speed and puzzle-like elements made it one of the most challenging and fun 16-bit platformers out there. If you don't own one of the many Sega Sonic collections or want to reminisce about Sonic's good old days, then this is one fast-paced platformer that shouldn't be passed up. If you own an SNES, then you know that The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past is a must. Returning to the top-down format of the original Zelda, A Link to the Past puts us in control of a pink-haired Link. Yes, a pink-haired Link. But what makes this Zelda so special is that it's the blueprint of all Zelda games to follow. The gadgets, dungeons, and storylines of all Zelda games after pretty much derive from this installment of the Zelda series, making it a legend itself.
I remember this was around the time I was going through my Zelda era.
It's all about Mario Kart 64.
Because Twilight Princess was so good, and then I was like, oh my god, what have I been missing out on? And the Virtual Console was a big deal. That was like the first time you were able to like
capability
play
to handle
games.
4 players makes it the best party game downloadable for the Wii. Last but not least, Super Mario 64. The premier game for the Nintendo 64 made Nintendo's poster boy soar to new heights by transforming him from a 2D character to a free-roaming, free-flying 3D character. This polygonal portobello plumber was the first of its kind and set the standard for all 3D platformers to come. Now with the ability to run in 480p, this classic has a new life, making it one of the best downloads available. Here we go! So if you're looking for the best Virtual Console games around, don't say I didn't warn you on how to spend those Wii points wisely. So many games, so many old friends, one Wii.
Even the Mario Kart re-release was like...
Well, $5 for a
it's
game
weird
because
these games at this time were still accessibly like you could still get them normally. Like
also, Japan's
people still had the game
slate of
consoles
titles
for
on
the
their
most
Virtual Console than here in the United States.
It's just wild. Like
here in the US with about 15 NES and Genesis titles and 6 Super NES games.
I don't want
They're
to sound
releasing
like
a few more every week.
Old person, but I do remember when you could go to
have no attention span and need regular reminders that something exists to take advantage
like a
of
retro
it.
game store, and they would have like
Up next, the worst of the
5
Wii
copies
Virtual Console
of,
on X-Play.
You're in G4's video game
help me out
matchup.
here, I'm
Now,
brain dead.
X-Play.
They would have like
This
5
show also
copies of
available
Legend of
on
Zelda
podcast.
Ocarina of Time, and you could just walk in and pick up a copy and play it. You like grab it, and they were like $8 each.
Welcome back to X-Play. Before the break, we showed you the very best stuff on the Wii Virtual Console.
I wish
but for
that's
every
like
out
a
of sight,
time I
there
wish
is
I
a
could go
monster in
back,
law.
honestly.
There's also an angel eyes and an enough. The world is full of crap, especially the world of Jennifer Lopez movies. But even in a sphere as delightful as Nintendo games, there are some losers. Here's a look at the worst of the Wii Virtual Console.
When I think of the Virtual Console, I think hot dogs. Yes, a lot of good things go into a hot dog, as well as other barely edible components. When stacking out its allotment of weekly games, Nintendo throws in a couple of turkeys to fill out the list. Be thankful you have X-Play to help you mechanically separate the beef from the spindly sinew. Up first on the chopping block, Pinball. As one of the launch games for the NES, Pinball doesn't age as well as the other games on the list, with its slow and often repetitive mechanics. Oh look, a bit of excitement! Quick, someone call Perez Hilton. This situation requires the mentality of a teenage boy with the penmanship of a 3rd grader. Awesome. Urban Champion just goes to remind us how far we've come in gang violence. I haven't had this much girly street slapping since Leonardo DiCaprio took on the gangs of New York. The resolution comes from your opponent plummeting down an open sewer as onlookers from above shower you with confetti out of their chests. Soccer. Even with David Beckham and his beautiful wife stateside, no one cares about soccer, let alone NES soccer. Players trot wildly around the left, center, and newly added right screens. And then there's Xevious, the endless shooter only an otaku could love. Let me show you around the place. Water, tank, rings, squiggly things, a sense of fun. No, wait, that's not in this version of the game. And then there's Donkey Kong. Oh, let's remember that when Donkey Kong came out in the arcades, you were about, I don't know, gestation. You were all about Cilia back then. I used to be into Cilia, but then I hit 32 cells. The original Donkey Kong is part of our gaming heritage, as well as cheap knockoffs. This swings in from the NES version, not the beloved arcades. This version includes 1, 2, 3, 4, strike that. The NES version lets you play only 3 of the 4 stages from the original version. And there you have it, the gristle from the gold. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go get a salad.
This look at the worst games on the Wii Virtual Console probably has you excited about watching crap.
At least we assume that because it's the only logical explanation for the fact that the Dog Whisperer still outranks us on iTunes podcast ratings.
Yeah. If you want high-quality video game review programming that just might have a joke about Canadian author Margaret Atwood in it, you should download our podcast.
But if you're comfortable getting tripe, please continue downloading the Dog Whisperer.
Unless you want actual tripe, in which case the Splendid Table from Minnesota Public Radio has some very good recipes for organ meats.
In conclusion, download us.
Coming up, it's me on X-Play.
Before the gremlins get you, get Progressive. #1 in motorcycle insurance.
It's Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play. Now, ontology is the school of philosophy that's concerned with the nature of self. It's my favorite kind of philosophy because, of course, I'm fascinating. All my opinions are right and my stories surprisingly interesting. Luckily, the Nintendo Corporation agrees. With the Wii, they've given us the opportunity to create another self inside the console. So here's our look at the Mii.
The world of the Mii is a strange place. Sculpted by the hand of the user, the most basic of tools are used to craft these avatars, giving them expression and form. Just before their birth, they will be assigned a color and given a name. Then, with a few quick clicks, Bill is born and placed into the empty, lifeless void of the Mii Plaza. At first, the plaza is a lonely place. Bill will wander slowly through this new world, finding nothing but himself and the music. The music is the only joy Bill will know, but within minutes, the desperately sweet tune will grow irritating. Even with the fixed smile and the unchanging expression, if you look closely, you can see the madness in Bill's eyes. At first, Bill is simply poked, forcing his head to grow large and small, large and small. Then, like a wild animal, Bill is grabbed by the hand of the user and lifted high in the air. Bill struggles to be free, violently thrashing at the hand of his creator, but the user has total control. Bill may feel alone and abused now, but soon he will be forgotten as the user continues to create more and more Miis. Some will look like monsters. Some will look like aliens. Others could be famous artists, but no matter what, they will all be cute. Even the Mii Hitler will cry out with his adorably sad face and completely inappropriate existence. Like a school of retarded fish, these mini Wii avatars patrol the Mii Plaza in a constant state of existential crisis. But it brings no joy to Bill. He is now just one of many, forced to stand in a line and play Wii Sports for the amusement of the user. Right. Even when the user demands a Mii parade, Bill cannot join. He must remain in the plaza, constantly waiting. This will go on until the end of the Wii, or until the fateful day the user becomes tired of Bill and erases him from existence. But the rest will not notice. They will continue to roam the Mii Plaza, searching for a purpose and a meaning.
I'm concerned about the constant exposure to high levels of cuteness we're getting from the Wii.
Science on the matter is inconclusive, but dealing with that much concentrated cuteness on a regular basis cannot be healthy.
Look at the Japanese. There's clearly something wrong with them, and I'd say Hello Kitty is clearly to blame.
If you're concerned about your cuteness exposure levels, just know that the one proven antidote to cute exposure is watching America and the Courts on C-SPAN 2.
Moments away, it's The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on X-Play.
You're in G4's video game mashup. Cheat is up next.
It's Attack of the Show, tonight at 7 and 11 p.m. Eastern. 3-2 in league play. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play.
A couple of months ago, when the PS3 and the Wii launched, we were waiting for a game that was worth all the hype.
Launch titles are often problematic, and anytime you revisit a classic franchise, you run the risk of screwing stuff up. But luckily, in this case, that was not a problem.
Here's a review of The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess.
It's been too long since we've heard that sound. Meet The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess.
This was mad hype.
Twilight Princess finds Link slumming it, but an evil force called the Twilight has to screw it all up. Suddenly the lives of the good folk of Hyrule hang in the balance. If only they hadn't cut defense spending. Life is hard out here for a Hyrulean pimp. Monsters cruise the hood, Zelda has lost her party girl status, and Link gets turned into a wolf. You'll walk the lonely road of puzzles, unexplored lands, and Mortal Kombat as only a Zelda game can. The wolf form of our hero of time has learned some new tricks. His wolf senses can sniff out buried treasures or track characters by scent. Link's canine self is part of a greater animal motif, from spanking a giant baboon to conversing with chickens. The Legend of Zelda has peddled the same items from game to game for nigh on 2 decades. But Twilight Princess manages to reinvent these tried and true tools. Let me just say, iron boots plus magnetic rock equals awesome. Link has been schooled in the ways of badassery since his last outing. His sword work is vicious, including a kill move that is so satisfying. Give Ganon a message. Tell him I'm coming for him and hell's coming with me. The graphics are the chink in Twilight Princess's armor. It looks about as good as a high-end GameCube game. A stark difference from the next-gen graphical power the PS3
It's funny because it came out. It was a GameCube game when it came out initially.
Somebody at Nintendo has seen Lord of the Rings several hundred times because Twilight Princess brings a Peter Jacksonian epicness to The Legend of Zelda. The game is long, with upwards of 40 hours of gameplay. There are tons of side quests to explore, and Hyrule's square mileage is large enough to make the Louisiana Purchase blush. Nintendo has pulled off gaming on a grand scale. If you need some Link lovin', Twilight Princess is the game you've been waiting for. Swordplay, sniffing, switch work, it's got it all. Even a baboon smacking its own ass. The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess gets a 5 out of 5.
I'm in the mood for an X-Play replay simply because I'm near me.
WarioWare Smooth Moves got a 4 out of 5 because the short attention span action is nice on a handheld, but it gets old quickly on a console.
And The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess got a 5 out of 5 because it is a brilliant addition to a brilliant franchise.
Why don't we look at some good old-fashioned video viewer mail?
Hey Adam and Morgan, my name is Anthony Cahill from New Bedford, Massachusetts. I just want to know if GameCube and PlayStation 2 games are going to stop being made because the Wii and the PlayStation 3 are up.
That's a good question, Anthony. Now, while production will probably scale back as developers focus more on the new consoles, there will definitely be new PS2 games coming out into next year.
Yeah, and there's some quality titles too, like God of War 2 is scheduled for release later in the spring. That's something to keep PS2 owners from making self-destructive gestures.
But Microsoft has basically stopped making Xbox games and consoles, so please feel free to stick a fork in your Xbox.
All right.
That's what I'll do
So I
with
think
it.
on that
so
note,
a few more GameCube games will probably trickle
I'm gonna
out,
be
but
calling
the
her
cube
quits
has, for all
right
intents
now.
and purposes,
We got a little
run
bit
down
far.
the curtain and joined the choir of visible.
Kind of was
So for last-gen consoles, the PS2 is really your
sort
best
of
bet.
trucking her
Beyond God of
along
War
as
2,
is.
they also got
I think it
Burnout Dominator
probably
and Mana coming out this year, both of which show lots of potential.
like I'm at a point
Interesting
where
the people
I
who
don't
remain
want to
committed to a
stop.
console after it's gone to live with
But
Jesus.
it's like if I keep
there are
going,
still Dreamcast
it's gonna
games
get
being
late.
released in Japan.
The group of people
So
still obsessed
I
with
think what
Dreamcast
I'm
games
gonna
are
do
popularly known as
is
shut-ins.
I'm going to
And the
call
only
her
console
quits.
to really last past its successor
We
is the
kind
Game Boy
of
Advance.
slowly
Games will
moved
come
along.
out.
Again, I
They'll
might
still
do
pretty
some
good.
stuff
It
off
does help that they
screen.
work
I
on the
normally
DS.
been doing
Yeah,
that.
so I guess the lesson is that the only way a console will
but
last like that
thank you
is if
again
it's sold
for
millions
watching.
upon millions of units.
Probably
Which is
gonna read
essentially
some
the situation
comics
the PS2
too.
is in right
Just
now.
trying
It's
to
sold an
catch up on
astounding
those
number of
because my
consoles
pile's
last
getting tall
Christmas
again.
when everything else was launching.
So I gotta get on
PS2
that.
may continue to have a string of games coming out
thank
for it.
you
Because
for
every human being
watching.
in America already owns
And
one.
I hope
And
you
the
all
PS3 is
have
backwards
a
compatible.
wonderful
I think that we've
evening.
completed all of our X-Play related
Bye-bye.
duties for today. What do you think?
I think we have.
Most
we're
likely
done
we'll be
now.
here tomorrow.
Contrary
So
to what you might think, we
I
always
hope
read our
to
viewer
get on
mail
there
here.
quicker, and hopefully things will be a lot smoother. So we'll check that out then. Till then, see you next time.